lot of fire last week. You know, PSG Memorial went over to Brownsville last week, faced a very tough Brownsville Veterans Ball Club, and they went out there swinging. They played hard, they played well. Unfortunately, they ended up on the bottom side, but the Memorial Wolverines are ready for tonight. They're going to take on the Pace Vikings as we have the opening kickoff fielded by the Wolverines, and with a head of steam headed out the sideline, he's going to get jolted out of bounds at about the 27-yard line, maybe the 28, and that's where the Wolverines and quarterback Orlando Munoz will take the field.
Yeah, and so we're about halfway at the halfway point here with this new district, 16-5A Division 1, and you know, Coach Michael Uribe and his staff have done a good job preparing their kids for this game. You're looking at a team again, Javi, that is looking for the first victory. They've had a lot of positives. They haven't been able to come out with that W on other games, so expect them to come out firing on all cylinders tonight.
And the Wolverines will have first shot, and Munoz flings it out, and that'll be a minimal gain. That was to Juan Oviedo, and they may say that he may have even lost a couple of yards. So the first play of the game is a loss of a couple yards for the Wolverines.
Yeah, no, that was a screen play. The linebacker came up on there really quick. They were keen on those keys. Here we see the replay. Munoz to Oviedo, but the linebacker was quickly on him, not letting him get anywhere on that, and the rest of the Pace Vikings come in there for that tackle there.
Yeah, the Pace Vikings have a very good defense, and the Wolverines are not going to help themselves with a false start on 2nd and 11, so they're going to get pushed back another 5 yards.
So we were talking about, you know, being on the jitters and having those nerves up high after going, we'll wait for the call here, after going 0-3. And so you're seeing some of those jitters come out there on this first drive as those linemen were ready to get off that play, but a little too early there, Javi.
It'll be 2nd and 16, man in motion for the Wolverines. He's going to motion back to the near sideline. The give is up the middle. And a bit of running room, not too much. He's going to get himself to the 25-yard line. And, of course, that's Joaquin Sanchez, who comes into the ballgame with 315 yards rushing. It'll be 3rd and long upcoming for the Wolverines on their opening possession of the ballgame.
So a pretty safe play there for the Wolverines as they hand off the ball to their workhorse Sanchez. And he's able to get a couple yards. They're trying to establish something going here. And here on 3rd down, let's see what they have going, Javi.
Munoz is going to roll out to his left. Has a man open in the flat. It is number 14 with the reception. Heads up field. He's going to get pushed out of bounds at the 35-yard line. That'll be about 3 yards short of the first down.
And that's the second time I'm seeing they attack Alex Leiva, who is a backup quarterback wide receiver. But as you said, Javi, they're a couple yards short of the first down. Looks like the punting unit's going on there, but we know that their quarterback, Munoz, is also their punter, so anything can go here. I'm pretty sure Coach Uribe is ready to play it safe, though.
They will play it safe, in fact, and they're going to punt it, a good punt. And it is down at the Pace Vikings 37-yard line. So a change of possession, and the Pace Vikings will have their initial first play of the ball game.
So the Pace Vikings coming all the way from Brownsville, Texas to come here, play at our beautiful DHR Health Field here at PSJA ISD. And Javi, you know, yesterday we had a beautiful day of Thursday night high school football. Today, quite the opposite. You know, we're under a rain delay, lightning delay, and so we're getting a late start this evening, Javi.
Yeah, it wasn't too much of a downpour. It's just lightning in the surrounding areas, and of course safety comes first. That is why of the weather delay. And on first down, the Pace Vikings quickly attacking. A short little pass is going to result in a big gain, and that'll be a good 20-yard pickup on first down for the Vikings.
So a little screenplay there for the wide receiver there as Dylan Barron, the running back, gets out there to block. He's basically a pulling lineman on that play, Javi. Pulls out to the left of the offensive line, and he pretty much opens it up for the receiver there to gain those 20 yards and set up a first and 10 here for the Pace Vikings.
And the Vikings quickly cross midfield there at the Wolverines' 43-yard line. 1st and 10. Quarterback in the shotgun position keeps it. maybe he gets himself a couple yards on first down right there.
So a quarterback draw called on that play. You see big old number 77 drop back and open up a lane for the quarterback. But our very own PSJA Memorial Wolverines do a great job of corralling the quarterback, as you see them here punish him for carrying the ball there. So that's something that's going to play into the Wolverine strengths there.
Yeah, it's good hard hitting on that play. And, of course, the quarterback for the Vikings is Jose Banda. And he'll receive the snap, looks, pumps, fires, finds an open man, turns it upfield, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, still fighting for extra yards. And, in fact, he's still going. Nothing is going to slow that man down. Not until he gets almost to the 10-yard line. They're going to say the 14. So what appeared, Robert, to be a minimal 2-yard gain. Hard, heavy running results in a big play right there for the Vikings again. Before that
2-yard gain, Javi, it looked like they were going to sack the quarterback back at behind the line of scrimmage. And as you said, Javi, the receiver does the rest of the work as he keeps pumping and churning those legs. And some slippery tackling. It might be the wet weather that's out there, the humidity. But you're very correct when you called it. It's 1st and 10, ball on the 14, and the Pace Vikings knocking on the Wolverines' door.
Yeah, Banda 2 for 2 on the ballgame with 47 yards passing already. This time to give up the middle, and once again, initial contact at the line of scrimmage, but the end result is a Viking 5 to 6 yard pickup on first down.
Good solid call there. There's just a run up off the left-hand side of the line. They're following that big old number 77. That is going to be Gustavo Heredia for the Vikings.
And Heredia right now doing the punishing work at the line of scrimmage, and the Vikings taking full advantage of that. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the Wolverines' 9-yard line. Vikings first possession, trying to get on the board quickly, and that is a pass right there. And in fact, they will get into the end zone, and that was Juan Jimenez with the reception. A 9-yard touchdown pass, Banda to Jimenez, and the Pace Vikings quickly strike first. It is 6-0.
So you had trips right there on that play, and another wide receiver screen there. The receiver just follows his blockers up and into the end zone. You had a lineman shoot off that right-hand side. Here you got a swing gate formation as they get ready for the extra point. But that extra block was enough for them to get out there and score the first points of this ball game with 8:12 left here in the first quarter. The extra point up. The extra point is good, Javi. So now we have a 7-0 ball game. Our hometown PSJA Wolverines are behind the ball here as they get ready to receive the kickoff.
I opened Alex Ron with the intention to give people in Brownsville and those who visit us a very unique experience in the area of retail. We saw the need to give people a personal experience that only a boutique could provide. Here in Alex and Raw, what we work for is searching for different pieces, textures we bring from India, from Mexico, trying to make this a different experience. The people to find treasures here in their own valley. It's a pleasure to welcome everybody and making them a part of our family. We invite you to discover Brownsville. You can't miss it.
Offensively, so they're going to have to turn it up offensively. They're going to get their second opportunity, a good solid kickoff return, and he may be off to the races, folks. He's going to get to midfield. He's got 2 defenders to beat. He's at the 30, the 25. Not sure they're going to catch him, and that'll be a touchdown for Joaquin Sanchez. A tremendous kickoff return, and that might be the trigger that the Wolverines need offensively.
Absolutely, Javi. No laundry on the field as Joaquin Sanchez takes it to the house on the kickoff for the PSJA Wolverines. The home crowd cheering and jeering. Here we see the replay. Joaquin Sanchez gets underneath that ball, takes the ball up the middle, breaks it out to the left-hand side, gives one juke right there, breaks a couple tackles, off to the races he goes. TTH Joaquin Sanchez. Oh, they're not going to get him there,
I thought
Javi.
they were going to get him, but he did it. He walked the tightrope. Great run, great stamina by that man right there. 95-yard jolt That is lightning in the bottle, and we don't want to say that word again after a couple of rain delays. But the
Hino Gas is a proud supporter of Valley High School sports and academics. We encourage you to be prepared for the fall and winter season. Visit hinogas.com to get your propane discount. At Hino Gas, we're here to help. Call us today.
It looks very promising. Back to you.
Thank you, Mr. Leja, for that update there, man. It was shocking indeed. And as Javi said, we don't want to jinx things, man. That rain delay. So, Javi, you know, this game is played in 3 parts: offense, defense, and special teams.
Well, the special teams check mark right off the bat goes to the Wolverines. Now, the Wolverines have got to get inspired right there. I hope Sanchez lit a fire underneath the backside of the defense right there. They come out and hit somebody hard, maybe force a fumble, force a turnover, interception, something. They got to slow down that pace offense who, on the first possession, you know, really untouched, 63 yards. It only took them 5 plays to score a touchdown. So let's see what they can do here defensively second time around.
And so the Pace Vikings offense is very balanced, Javi, as we saw plenty of passes, plenty of running plays. So pretty well balanced. As we see the kickoff here, there's a fumble on the field, but as it looks like it goes out of bounds, the Vikings will retain possession at their own 40-yard line.
Yeah,
here on their second drive.
Yeah, I almost put a Nostradamus right there. I almost predicted the future. They did fumble. They did force a fumble. The Wolverines recovered it. Unfortunately, he recovered it out of bounds. So the Wolverines, I think they can sniff something they haven't sniffed all year, and that could be a victory.
A victory indeed, if that's what they're sniffing. But, you know, they're going to have to shore up that defensive line, which has been a strength for them. But, you know, the Vikings have been finding some success with the defensive backs, giving them a little bit of space, but we see press coverage here, Javi.
So the Wolverines with 4 defensive linemen, they get after the quarterback. He swings it out to his left. He's got a lot of running room. He breaks one tackle, breaks another, and, man, these guys are tough to bring down tonight. Hard-nosed running, and that was number 22, Dylan Barron, with a great run after the reception.
So a very well structured play there, Javi. I'm going to call it the wide receivers had some good blocking on the defense backs and that outside linebacker. The linemen were able to get out to the secondary level, and that basically opens up the rest of the play there. So that's why you're able to see the receiver, the running back, get as many yards as he's able to get here and place the ball in the Wolverines' 42-yard line, setting up a 1st and 10 for the Pace Vikings. Yeah,
it's another big play right there coming from the arm of Jose Banda. It'll be 1st down, a quarterback keeper. He's got some running room. He breaks through the line of scrimmage again. He's off to the races, gets to the 20, cups it right back up field. He's going to be knocked down at the 14-yard line. And the Pace Vikings are coming up with big play after big play this evening.
And so that's exactly what we saw there as big old number 72 for the Vikings. Jose Quintero basically pulls a trap block and opens up a running lane for the quarterback. And so beautiful block there. And again, Javi, run, pass. They're keeping it very well balanced, and they're keeping the Wolverine defense guessing here.
Yeah, that was a 20-yard run by the Pace Vikings, and they quickly get on the attack again. A swing pass again, and elusive running again. That time it was number 5, Brandon Zapata, getting in the action, and just like that, the Pace Vikings have answered that Wolverine touchdown.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, Javi. They answered it quickly. Number 71 out there to greet his receiver. And so they're doing an excellent job getting those linemen into space, into the second level, and getting those blocks open for those receivers and running backs to get those big yardage plays. And we have now the Vikings with a total of 123 yards in just 2 series, while our very own PSJA Memorial Wolverines have a total of 11 yards. But yet the score is 7-14 as the extra point goes up and is good, Javi. So
for the hottest deals, go to Mi Casa Furniture.
Save at Mi Casa Furniture.
75-33 Boca Chica, Brownsville.
We're back on the score. The game is turning to a very fast pace between both of the teams. Let's see if the Wolverines can keep up with this. So far, the Vikings are 3-1 on the regular season, 3-0 on district. The only loss came at the beginning of the season against Cherryland for a score of 20-17. Back to you.
Thank you there, Pedro. And, you know, Robert, Pedro might have to get on some roller skates because it's a track meet out there. You know, 3 touchdowns in less than 6 minutes. 21 points on the board, 14, of course, coming from the Pace Vikings. They lead our Wolverines 14-7, and the Pace Vikings, Robert, they want nothing to do with that kickoff return. They kick it out of bounds. The Wolverines should have excellent field position.
They should take it out to about the 30-yard line, if I'm not mistaken here. So good field position for the Wolverines to get this next series started. We haven't seen the offense come out there.
No.
We saw them score on the kickoff return. Joaquin Sanchez takes it to the house. So this is the first time they get out. I'm sorry, I take that back. This is the second series. You're right. They punted after their first series. So this is the second time. So the offense hasn't been out there for quite a bit after these 2 scores. And hopefully they can get some momentum going and get some positive things going on this next series.
Yeah, and the reason you probably missed it was because it was a quick 3 and out. You know, they went negative yards on their first possession. Let's see if Munoz and company can right the ship here on their second possession as they throw early in the ball game. Munoz takes his time, gets a snap. It's a runaround by the Sanchez, the running back, trying to get around the right edge, the far sideline. Minimal gain, but still a positive play on first down.
Yeah, the Sanchez runs around the right-hand side and is able to pick up 3 yards. We had a little bit disguise of the formation there as we show Pace showing press coverage on the left-hand side. They drop back, the right-hand side comes up to show press coverage. And so they're trying to play some little mind games here with the Wolverine offense.
Yeah, the Wolverines will have 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Munoz flanked on each side by a running back. And Munoz working the play clock. It's again this time almost the same identical play except to the right side. He stays on his feet. He's around the edge. And the ball carrier just does get pushed out of bounds. And of course that is the speedy Tava Sane with a good solid run right there.
That was insane, bro. Yeah, he runs it off the left-hand side, and the cornerback gets sucked in, and he gets sealed off. And that opens up the lane for Sane there. As we see here, number 25 just falls on his rear end there, and Sane's able to take it up, get a first down for our hometown PSJA Wolverines.
And a big run right there.
We are this close.
We're this close.
We are this close of wanting
to making history. This close to changing the world.
We're this close.
This close. This close to making sure no child suffers a crippling disease
ever again.
This close. We are this close to ending polio.
Ending polio. All we need is you.
This close. If we don't act now, we may lose this chance forever. Help Rotary make history at endpolionow.org.
This is exactly what you want to see as you see 2 heavyweights getting at it on the field here for a 16-5A Division I play game.
That was a 20-yard pickup by the Wolverines on that last play. And as you mentioned, they crossed midfield. Let's see if they can continue to drive down the football field and get within an extra point of tying the game. It'll be 1st and 10. Munoz looks, fires, has a man open down the middle, overshoots him slightly. If he would have let him inside the hash marks, that might have been a touchdown. Instead, he went outside. Miscommunication, but still, the play was there. That was a good read by the quarterback.
The receiver, number 12, Isaac Gomez, does a good job positioning himself inside both defenders. The only thing I'm going to say is just he kept looking back rather than running his route. And you're right, Javi. It's 2-way communication. Munoz should have let him inside, and you got yourself a huge gain out of that play. Instead, you got an incomplete 2nd and 10 here.
And on 2nd and 10, the give is up the middle to Sanchez. He tries to push his way to the 40-yard line. They're going to mark him just outside of that. It'll be at the 41. So Sanchez with 3 hard-earned yards on that play.
And it's a true joy just to watch that young back run the ball. As you see him, he gets initial contact, and that young man just keeps pumping his legs and moving forward, and he's able to get that extra half yard on just pure effort alone there, Javi.
Good effort right there by Sanchez, and they're going to need some more yards right here. It'll be 3rd and 7. They got to get to the Pace Vikings 34-yard line if they want to continue this drive. They snap. The give is to Sanchez again up the middle, bottled up right at the line of scrimmage. They may even say he lost half a yard on the play. Good solid defense by the #1 ranked defense in District 16 5A, the Pace Vikings.
Leroy Carrizal is unable to seal the block there to open up that running lane. Almost had no goal after that handoff because the Pace Vikings were there, and now we're facing a very important 4th and 7 here.
4th and 7. Munoz, of course, doubles as the punter. He drifts back. I believe he's going to punt this away, try to pin the Vikings deep, and he does get a good bounce. He takes a sideways bounce and then finally a favorable bounce. And that roll at the very end will be down at the Pace Vikings 14-yard line. So at the very least, the Wolverines did their job. They got a couple first downs and pinned the Vikings deep in their own side of the field.
Well, the offense, like you said, Javi, did part of their job. They were able to move the ball. Unfortunately, they weren't able to put any points on the board. The defense, as we've seen the last 2 series, Javi, have given up 14 points. So right now, this game is in the favor of the Pace Vikings. So unless the PSJA Memorial Wolverines have an answer for that offense, we might see another 7 points coming up on the board for the Vikings before the first quarter ends. But I guarantee you, they're going to give it everything they got to not let that happen.
And let's see what the defense can do. 4 down linemen. They got 2 linebackers, 5 defensive backs trying to slow down this offense. A swing pass, and there's a lot of running room, a lot of real estate in front of the receiver. He's going to get to the 40, sneak buys, and gets maybe to the 47-yard line. Big time run right there by Elijah Solis. And you know, Rob, they're not long passes. They're just little swing passes, but the speed, the agility of the receivers is paying dividends right now for the Pace Vikings.
So from the 14 to the 48-yard line, that's a 34-yard gain there. And again, you're right, Javi. These are just high percentage passes, and the players are making the rest of it happen. Those linemen, again, are getting out there on these swing passes, getting onto their blocks, and opening these running lanes. And so they're finding success, something on this series. And PSJA Memorial needs to adjust very quickly unless they want this to get out of hand.
And Banda taking full advantage of a gaping hole around the right side of that defensive front. That'll be about a 9-yard pickup. So the Pace Vikings picking up yards in chunks right now. They're looking very, very good offensively. The Wolverines, they got to figure something out quickly. As you mentioned, they can ill afford another score here.
Yeah, Banda's doing an excellent job managing the game for the Vikings. As I go back to this, Javi. They're keeping the Wolverines guessing as it's a run, a pass, a run, a pass. And so very well balanced throughout this quarter so far as we get ready to get the snap here.
And the give is up the middle. Much better job right there by the defense. They limit them to a 2-yard gain. Unfortunately, though, the Vikings only needed 1. So 2 yards is good enough for another Viking first down.
Yeah, and now they have the ball here at the 41-yard line of the Wolverines as the Wolverines get the call from the defensive coordinator. And Pace Vikings looking very comfortable as they illustrate or conduct another drive here.
Yeah, they're well over 150 yards here in the first quarter. They already have 8 first downs. Vikings offensively flexing their muscle. The quarterback drifts, finds an open receiver right at the 20-yard line, heads upfield. And, of course, that is Zapata, wrestled out of bounds, but not until another huge play coming from the arm of Banda.
Yeah, and so that pass was to number 5 as we see the defensive back for the Wolverines, Angel Martinez, drop back. And I think he just loses sight of his receiver as he taps his chest. That was on me. That was on me. But on me is going to cost them the ball inside their own 10-yard line, Javi.
Yeah, that was a 33-yard mistake right there. Good pass, good reception. The Pace Vikings will have the ball first and goal. They're trying to pad their 7-point lead. Quarterback sits in the pocket, throws, fires, complete. And Jimenez with a touchdown reception. So the Pace Vikings will not be denied on their third position. It is now 20-7, and we're still here in the first quarter.
Third drive, third touchdown. not struggling at all as they orchestrate a beautiful drive on that play after the punt from the Wolverines. And again, the defense being the weak link here, as we saw the special teams come up and score points. We saw the offense move the ball. Unfortunately, they are not able to capitalize on that. And here we go with the extra point. It is up, and it is good. So now our score is 21-7. 2:14 still left here in the first quarter. You know, a high-scoring event on the visiting side. And our Wolverines kind of...
If you just graduated high school, are looking to change careers, or to upgrade your job skills, Texas Southmost College is the place to start. With over 50 certificates and associate degrees to choose from, TSC has the career for you. At TSC, you get a quality education that's close to home. Earn a certificate or an associate degree and get the education you need for today and tomorrow's job market.
Wouldn't you like to be in demand?
Register now at Texas Southmost College in Brownsville.
Last night, we had the pleasure of seeing, you know, quarterback throw for about 500 yards, 7 touchdown passes.
And was that Trey?
That was Trey, the man Guajardo.
And we came close to 500 yards on that, didn't we?
Yes, he got 500 by himself, close 400 and 500 team total. We may see that in the making here against tonight.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So here we go. The kickoff's going underway.
It is fielded at the 7. The return man with a head full of steam right there. He tries to get through. He does. Bounces off a couple of defenders. He almost took that one to the house again, and they're going to knock him down at the 39-yard line. So the Wolverines, who trail by 2 scores, have excellent field position.
And it looks like the Vikings might have been offsides on that kickoff, as our back judge here throws a flag at around the 45 of the Vikings. And that is the call. I think the rain might have messed up the referee's mic there, as we can't hear him. But he does say offsides on the kicking team. They're going to decline the penalty, take the ball where they get it. So they will start this next series at their own 44-yard line, Javi.
Great starting field position. Great starting field position for the Wolverines. They have to get something going offensively. Of course, their lone touchdown was that great touchdown on the kickoff return by Sanchez, 95 yards. The offense has struggled a bit. That should be a free play. Munoz looks, sits, fires. No, he does not. He keeps it, bowls over a defender. Not much doing on it, especially on the free play. I think what he should have done, just look for a receiver to try to hit him downfield.
And so this is something you usually want to call down there. If you see the flags come out as a receiver, and again, I'm giving the courtesy there to the ref as he explains the call. We see him on the screen there, but you see the flags come out. You go on that go route. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Here, well, they'll get the 5 yards no matter what, setting up a 1st and 5 with the ball now at the 48-yard line of the Wolverines.
So Munoz and company, 1st and 5, trying to get to midfield. Taking their time, running down the play clock all the way to 10 seconds now. It's inside 10. They finally snap it, and it's a give up the middle to Sanchez, and that was worth the wait right there as Sanchez motors his way to the Pace Vikings 41-yard line. That'll be a Wolverine 1st down.
Good patient running by Sanchez there as he's able to draw in the defense to the right-hand side of the offensive line. Cuts it back inside. Here we see the replay. Take it up to the right, cuts it back into the left, and is able to get a 1st down for the hometown Wolverines.
So Munoz, but wait, hold the phones. There is going
to be a false start against our Wolverines here, pushing them back 5 yards.
And it is a false start against the Wolverines, so it'll be 1st and 15 for the Wolverines. They look a lot better, though, offensively, Robert. You know, they're moving the ball well through the ground. They just need to open up that passing game a little bit to give Joaquin Sanchez some more lanes to run through. Let's see if they can do that here on 1st and long. And Munoz grabs it. He's going to look. He fires deep. And a lot of hand checking going on out there, but number 4 was the intended receiver, Michael Munoz. Just never had the separation, though, from the defender.
Munoz to Munoz connection doesn't work on that play. The ball goes way over his head. Referee thinking of maybe calling too much contact there. As you said, a lot of bumping and holding and grabbing. But again, the quarterback needs to put it in a place where only the receiver can get it. And on that one, no one could get it.
So that brings up a 2nd and 15. The Wolverines were here, you know, a series ago. They moved the ball well, then they bogged down once they got inside the Pace Vikings side of the football field. Quarterback keeper just not much doing there. He may have been better off flipping it out to his running back. They're going to say no gain, so that should bring up about a 3rd and 15.
Yeah, and a very well-disciplined defense there, as you had the linebacker, the defensive end, keen on the quarterback, the outside linebacker keen on the pitchman, and nowhere to go. So Orlando Munoz holds on to the ball and is quickly brought down by the defensive end and that inside linebacker, which is exactly what the defense is taught to do.
Yeah, good, solid defense right there. The game clock winding down here at the end of the first quarter. Let's see if they get it off. They do. Munoz looks to his left under heavy pressure. A lot of room up the middle, but he gets tripped up right at the 40-yard line. That'll get him just back to the original line of scrimmage. And that'll draw a conclusion to the end of the first quarter.
For over 65 years, VTX1 Companies has called South Texas home. And that means more to us than just being in a community. It means being part of the community. Through the good times and the hard times. Celebrating every triumph. And lending a helping hand whenever we can. From farm to city and neighbor to neighbor, VTX1 Companies is there, bringing friends, families, businesses, and communities closer together. VTX1 Companies, connecting you since '52.
Have put up a total of 209 yards.
Yeah, it's been the air show that the Vikings have come in with. You know, coming into the ball game, Jose Banda, the quarterback for the Pace Vikings, only had 201 yards passing. He's at 191, so he may eclipse what he had coming in. He's going to double that total surely tonight. And the Wolverines, you know, aside from Joaquin Sanchez, you know, it's been tough sledding. The Pace Vikings have been playing extremely well.
Yeah, no, the only bright spot for the Wolverines is Tavon Sane with 23 yards. As we see this punt.
Yeah, the Wolverines elected punt on 4th and long, 4th and 10. And the ball will be down at the 15-yard line. So that's where the Pace Vikings will take over.
And so the yellow shirts we see on our screen right now, guys, is for cancer awareness, childhood cancer awareness. So we have a strong support from our PSJA ISD family, as the PSJ Bears, PSJ North Raiders, PSJ Wolverines, and PSJ Southwest Javelinas have all supported this childhood awareness cancer campaign. And again, the community here, strong and supportive as it's always been, getting close to that century mark of existence here, Javi.
Great effort right there by the community rallying around our youth. And it'll be the Pace Vikings with the ball. Of course, Banda at quarterback. And that'll be a minimal gain. Good job right there by the Wolverines defense.
Great job there, but we see number 90 slow to get up. That's Christian Garcia. Here we see the coaching staff talking to their offensive linemen saying, hey, we got something good going. We need to just shore it up and just finish it. They've already crossed a couple of times into Pace Viking territory and have come up unsuccessful. The 7 points on the board coming from a special teams play. And so now we need an answer from the Wolverine defense.
Yeah, the defense has got to step it up here. They've been pushed around early in the ball game in the first quarter. I'd say they have much more success here in the second quarter. And Vikings quickly with a pass, but a much better job right there. Great effort by the defense. That might be a tackle for a loss right there.
Yeah, that is a tackle for a loss as they lose 2 yards on that play. The outside linebacker does an excellent job coming in and closing in on the receiver. That is number 23 for PSJ Memorial, the defensive back, Alexis Cortez.
So a 3-yard loss on that pass play. It'll bring up 3rd and long. Golden opportunity for the Wolverines defense to force a punt. Get themselves off the field. Banda looks, heavy pressure, completes a pass. So is it caught? And if it is, that should be a turnover, a fumble, and the PSJ Memorial defense does what they're supposed to do, and that's get a big-time stop. And just like that, Robert, you know, a touchdown by the Wolverines, and they're right back in this ballgame.
So again, the Pace Vikings trying to throw a play that has been very successful for them, a wide receiver screen, and that is a catch, completion, and fumble recovered by the Wolverines. So great call by the officials down there as the receiver is trying to make a play after catching that ball. And so our very own hometown Wolverines with the ball at the 9-yard line face a 1st and goal. Something that they haven't been able to see this entire game.
Well, the special team scored. The defense come up with a big turnover. Let's see if the offense can capitalize now. As you mentioned, 1st and goal from the Vikings 9-yard line. Munoz scrambles to his right, fires way out of bounds. Just simply trying to get rid of that ball. He took a big hit as he threw it. It'll be 2nd and goal upcoming for the Wolverines.
Smart play by Munoz to throw that ball away as he's quickly zoned in by the defensive staff, or by the defensive players there. And you're right, Javi, he does take a big licking and slow to get up and calls the next play. He's ready. These Wolverines are hungry and they're ready to score and make this a ball game after this 7-21 deficit that they're facing right now.
Well, Munoz will have Sanchez and Sain next to him. Let's see who the give is to. And they're going to give it to Tavis Sain, and I think the Vikings with a personal foul there on the tackle. That could have been a face mask. We do see some laundry on the field, so we'll see what the call is.
Thank you very much from our production staff. I think they're filling in for the referee as we cannot hear him. They're saying out there in the booth, personal foul, face mask on the Vikings, 1st and 10 there. Oh my goodness. That is a big face mask there as they whip his head around. So a new set of downs for the Vikings inside the 4-yard line. A new set of down for our Wolverines inside the Vikings 4-yard line.
Yeah, that was a no-doubter right there. So it'll be 1st and goal once again. Munoz asks for the ball, finally does get it. They get it to Sain. Sain trying to use his speed. 2 defenders knock each other down, and whoa, what a collision at the goal line, and that is won by Sain. Tavis Sain with a big run right there, 4-yard touchdown run, and the Wolverines are striking back.
And so the speed, a little bit deceptive there as we see him take the ball and all of a sudden hit a 2nd gear, and he's able to outrun the defense here on the left-hand side as we see 2 Pace defenders bump into each other, takes it to the corner, a little too late there for number 25 as he's able to break the plane. Touchdown Wolverines, 21-13, awaiting the extra point. The kick is up. The kick is good, Javi. So 21-14, great job by the defense, recovering the fumble. Great job by the offense, answering the call there.
The defense comes up with a big play, forcing a turnover. The offense comes through with Sain using his speed. What I like best, though, Robert, was the way he finished that run. He could have easily have just stepped out of bounds at the 1-yard line, at the half-inch yard line, but instead he lowered his shoulders, pulling himself into the end zone, and the Wolverines are a score away from tying this ball game. With it appears that Brownsville Pace is dominating PSJ Memorial, only down by 7.
No, absolutely, Javier. You know, good call right there. The offense for the Vikings have pretty much dictated what they want to do on the field without the defensive, without the defense having any answers for the Wolverines. But that one miscue on that fumble deep inside their own territory is the difference here that makes this a ball game now. 21-14 here, getting ready for the kickoff, and we got ourselves a ball game on a late Friday evening here at DHR Health Field at PSJA Stadium. Brought to you again by our K-Tri staff. Does an excellent job week in, week out.
It's a little pooch kickoff fielded at the 35-yard line by the Pace Vikings. They lose a couple of defenders. Crosses midfield, still on his feet. Pushed forward and finally dragged down at about the Wolverines' 41-yard line. So that kickoff kind of backfired. It's going to be excellent field position for the Pace Vikings.
Not the way I think they played it out in their heads when they had that pooch kick up, as the Vikings take the kick, run it into the left side or the home side of the field, and they're able to make something out of nothing there, and they bring it out across midfield to the 41-yard line of the Wolverines.
Great field position right here for the Pace Vikings. Let's see though if our Wolverines can get a defensive stop though. They did last time the Vikings had the ball. Let's see if they can do it again. And on first down, Banda flips it out late to his running back. We have a penalty flag thrown. It's about a 7-yard pickup, but let's see what the call is and see if the play holds up.
And it was a 7-yard pickup with about a 16-yard flag throw on that one, Javi.
Yeah, it was a good throw right there.
So for those of you who cannot lip read, that is a holding call on the Pace Vikings. So that is going to negate the run or the pass on that play, take them back 10 yards, setting up 1st and 20 here. The ball is going all the way back to the 49-yard line. And the Vikings, sorry, I take that back, I guess. They're going to call it a spot foul, so they're going to bring the ball back to the 48-yard line of the Wolverines.
Yeah, it's a correct call. So the reason the ball carrier was able to get as many yards as he did, of course, was because of the holding penalty. They said it happened 3 yards downfield, so it'll be 1st and 17 upcoming for the Pace Vikings. Banda, their quarterback, lone running back, he hands the ball off to him. A big gaping hole up the middle. Nice run right there by number 21, Matthew Cuellar.
So Matthew Cuellar doing an excellent job. You know, we see football as a game of inches. We saw 2 or 3 defenders within arm's reach of Cuellar. They're unable to corral him, bring him down, grab a jersey, do whatever they can. And so they're able to pick up 12 yards on that carry, setting up a 2nd and 8 here, Javi.
It'll be 2nd and 8. Banda with 2 receivers to the near sideline, 2 to the far sideline. He looks to his left, pump, throws, fires, has a man open, caught, run out of bounds, and that is Brandon Zapata with the reception, and that'll be more than enough for a Viking first down.
The Viking receivers again getting separation from those defensive backs, as we see Banda take a hit, the quarterback, but he's able to release the ball and get the ball all the way to the 18-yard line of the Wolverines, and really not much work there to do when you have that much separation.
Yeah, great job by the quarterback finding the open receiver. That was a 20-yard connection. The Vikings inside the Wolverines 20-yard line now, and a quick toss on a swing pass, and that'll be an incomplete pass, and he catches it. He's got some running room, and of course the intended receiver was Matthew Cuellar.
So very fortunate for the Vikings that ball did not go behind the quarterback, as he does throw it just a little bit forward, and it ends up being an incomplete pass. But the story could be completely different had that ball gone backwards, Javi.
Yeah, if it is, it's a pitch out, if you will. It's a live ball, and it's anybody's ball at that point. So as you mentioned, the Vikings with an incomplete pass, 2nd and 10. Let's see if the Memorial Wolverine defense can come up with a gem here, get a big stop. Give is up the middle. And he's going to motor his way past the 15-yard line, maybe down to the 12, and that's going to be a good pickup on 2nd down, bring up a 3rd and a manageable 3 to 4 yards.
Yeah, so 3rd and 4, Javi. Something that if you watch the Pace Vikings play Southwest last week, the Vikings have a very good field goal kicker. He kicked one from 45, if I am not mistaken.
That was Giovanni Garcia.
So their special teams play is unquestionable at this point.
3rd down. Let's see if we can get a chance to get that kicker out there And the Vikings with a completion, they're going to get it down to the 5-yard line. They had to get to the 8, so they're going to move the chains. And, of course, that was Zapata again with the reception. Just enough for a first down, so it'll be 1st and goal for the Pace Vikings with 7:55 remaining in the first half. It's the Vikings 21, the Wolverines 14.
Zapata does an excellent job to find the bubble within three defenders there, inside, outside, and corner around him, and the quarterback does a great job finding him, and he's able to get enough yardage for the first down, setting up 1st and goal here on the 5-yard line for the Vikings.
Banda with a give up the middle, not much doing. Great stout defense at the point of attack. Got to give a lot of credit, Robert, to that defensive front right there.
And coming into the season, Javi, the defensive front was really getting touted up as being the strength for the Wolverines, and they've done just that. The other areas need a little bit of work, but this group of young men has a lot of potential. I know we're going into our 4th game of the district play, and they're very hungry here, Javi.
Yeah, it's funny to think, Robert, we're already in week 5 of this football season. It is flying by, and we have a good one for you tonight right here at PSJA Stadium. Banda looks, fires, throws low. That'll be incomplete, so it'll bring up 3rd and goal. The Wolverine defense hanging by a thread right now, but they're hanging. They got an opportunity to stop this Viking drive.
So a thread is exactly what you mentioned, and that play was wide open. If the quarterback targets his receiver just right, he had gotten position inside Jared Sandoval, the junior defensive back, and things could have been completely different there if they were able to connect.
Yeah, I think Banda should have just been a little bit more poised and sat in the pocket. That should have been a touchdown reception. Banda's going to get another opportunity, flushed out of the pocket and tripped up from behind. Outstanding effort right there by number 55, Santos Gomez, with a shoestring tackle. That might have been a touchdown saving tackle.
So besides the touchdown saving tackle, you're not going to see this here on the replay. The reason the quarterback had nobody to go to was we were just talking about Jared Sandoval, who does an excellent job stuffing number 5, Banda, off the line of scrimmage. So number 5, Zapata, had nowhere to go. Banda was looking for him. He gets tripped up at the line, and so he has to tuck the ball, so the defensive line does the rest of the job and gets a sack. So now a very interesting 4th down here as they're calling the timeout.
Yeah, the Wolverines want to call a timeout, and as you mentioned, great coverage sack. We're going to call it on 3rd down. The Wolverines wide.
Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles is your source for vintage, antique collectibles, vinyl records, and more. Located at 206 East Jackson in historic downtown Harlingen, it's Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles. It's a step back in time with a soundtrack like none other. Open Monday through Saturday, filled with memories and more. Forever Memories is for you.
There we go. Cheer it up. I said pack the house. They indeed do that with 3 of their feeder schools coming out here. Marsa Garza, Dr. Reed, and Mock Elementary, and Audie Murphy coming out to represent Javi. You know, this is a beautiful part of being just a part of this PSJ family. Our K-Tri staff enjoys putting out this production for everybody who tunes in on YouTube, who everybody tunes in online or at home. Guys, this is what it's about. A community supporting each other, and we're a family here in PSJA ISD.
And it's going to get a little bit more exciting, Robert, because it's 4th and goal. The Vikings look, they fire in the end zone, incomplete pass, no penalty flags. The Wolverine defense has done it again. They've kept the Viking offense outside of the end zone. So with it's 21-14. 5:59 remaining in the first half, and the Wolverines, they're starting to look really, really good.
And I'm going to credit Pedro Leja there on the sideline, because the offense for the Vikings was there on Pack the House side, and so maybe the Pack the House making enough noise to disrupt the play. So let's credit those 3 schools that came out here to support their hometown team. Again, a big shout out there to our camera staff, who's doing an excellent job. We see the replay. Quarterback tosses the ball nowhere within reach, And Wolverines getting here to get started on this series.
And on first down, Munoz looks, fires, open man. That's Oviedo. He gets it. He loses 2 defenders, gets past the 30, trying to race to the 40, gets dragged out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Wow, what an great play right there.
Electric, great, whatever you want to call it.
I didn't want to say electricity or anything like that. I don't want to bring any lightning bolts down.
We don't want to
now.
bring lightning or anything. It's a beautiful evening. Here we have the backdrop here of South Texas, but here we have the replay. Oviedo cuts it in. He has 2 defenders bump into each other, and if it wasn't for number 9, he could take it for much more than what he took it for. So an excellent job by Oviedo, bringing the ball all the way to the 42-yard line. 1st and 10 for your PSJA Wolverines. 5:49 left in the half, Javi. They still have 2 timeouts remaining.
That was a 36-yard completion on that play, and on second play of the series, which is a 1st down and 10 play. Minimal pickup. They're going to get to the 45-yard line, so they're getting close to midfield, Robert. They're making some noise.
And so why not give it to your workhorse, Joaquin Sanchez? That boy will wear that defensive line down, and the offensive line, here we see the replay. He's just going to tuck his shoulders in and pump his legs. Good push by the offensive line, able to get those yardage and turn something out of nothing.
On 2nd and 7, Munoz surveys the field. A little bit of pressure, dumps it off, and the intended receiver tried to run with it before he caught it, and that was Sanchez. And Sanchez is very dangerous in open space, but unfortunately did not hang on to that pass.
Yeah, no, Munoz puts a little bit of spice on that football, a little too spicy for the running back. As you said, he takes his eyes off the ball before he can catch and make a move. Otherwise, you're going to have another 2 or 3 yards, setting up a manageable 3rd down. Now we got a 3rd and 7 here. Ball on the 45-yard lines of the Wolverines.
So with 2 receivers on each side for Munoz, working the play clock down to 6 seconds. Got a little bit of pressure. He feels the pressure, and he's going to get sacked. Big time quarterback sack, and Munoz is banged up a little bit. I think he's going to get up, but that one hurt in more ways than one.
So more ways than one. Remember, Javi, he is their punter as well. And so now they're going to be facing a 4th and long. The referees do call an injury timeout, so he does have to go out unless the PSJA Wolverines call a timeout here. But the Wolverines getting set up for a punt. He did not see the pressure coming in from the left-hand side of the offense. A blitz on that play is played perfectly by the Vikings defense, and they set themselves up in good position to receive this 4th down punt now, as we see a timeout called by the Wolverines.
Well, what happened there, Robert, is that Munoz is their punter. So I believe number 14, Alex Leyva, was going to go ahead and fill in as the punter, but they were a man short since Munoz left the field. So a valuable timeout just...
I opened Alex Restaurant with the intention to give people in Brownsville and those who visit us a very unique experience in the area of retail. We saw the need to give people a personal experience that only a boutique could provide. Here in Alex and Raw, what we work for is searching for different pieces, textures we bring from India, from Mexico, trying to make this a different experience.
Eye coordination.
You're ready to put him on the field to play.
Yeah, who signed that kid up? That kid can throw the ball pretty well. They look like they're middle schoolers. And the punt is off for the Wolverines. Good punt coverage, nothing doing. And the Pace Vikings will take their next possession at their own 34-yard line.
To find treasures here in their own valley. It's a pleasure to welcome everybody and making them a part of our family. We invite you to discover Brownsville. You can't miss it.
And giving the ball to the offense, they got one more stand they got to do. If they can get the ball back to their offense, they'll have a good time to run the 2-minute offense before time runs out here in the half.
The quarterback with a late toss on that read option play, but nothing doing though. Great lateral pursuit, by the Wolverines, and that'll be another tackle for a loss.
So hesitation on both the quarterback and the running back allowed the defense to quickly get to the ball carrier as he's unsure whether to tuck and run or pitch and get out. And he chooses the latter, but by that time the defense is already keen on the pitch man, and so a loss of a yard there on that play.
So the Wolverines with a great play on first down. Let's see if they can back it up here on second down. More than likely a passing situation, and it will be a pass. And there's a long ball thrown just out of the reach of diving Brandon Zapata. That'll be incomplete, but a dangerous pass.
And again, you know, if you hit that receiver in stride, Javi, nobody's going to stop him. He's going to take the ball, as we say, TTH, take it to the house. Here we see the quarterback eye the receiver, Zapata, and just a tad out of his reach. And incomplete pass. So fortunate for the Raiders. Now Vikings facing a 3rd and 11 here.
And on 3rd and 11, the Vikings will have 3 receivers to the far sideline. Quarterback looks that way, and he gets harassed, and he gets brought down hard. Great tackle, great quarterback sack. Wow.
That is number 32, Jacob Palomar, who just lines him up in his sights, pulls the trigger, and boom.
That was impressive. I'll tell you what, he got off the line of scrimmage quick. The quarterback never saw it coming. He's lucky he didn't fumble that ball.
Yeah, you know, oh my gosh. The headless horseman might have been there. He just rips him, and he stays on the ground. Number 32 says, "What's up, quarterback? I got you."
Talk about blindsided. My goodness. Wow. So the Wolverines will be forcing a Viking punt. They should get pretty good field position out of this, and they will. It'll be at their own 49-yard line. So watch out, guys. You know, I tell you what,
Hino Gas is a proud supporter of Valley High School sports and academics. We encourage you to be prepared for the fall and winter season. Visit hinogas.com to get your propane discount. At Hino Gas, we're here to help. Call us today.
Bender got the quarterback. He's not going to forget it for a while.
And so there you see the coach pumping up his men. But those boys giving everything they got. You see it wincing on their faces. But the halftime ain't over. So 2:57, one timeout to go. Ball on the 49. It's going to be an exciting finish to this half, Javi.
The Wolverines and Munoz on first down will set up a screen. A little bit of running room. Let's see if he can get around the edge, and he does. Oviedo gets maybe 3 or 4 yards. Of course, the Wolverines have 2:45 to work with. And
that was
one timeout.
Yeah, that was number 50 for the Vikings, who's able to chase down Oviedo. It was a great screen pass. Oviedo takes it out to the left-hand side after seeing nothing going down there, but you see number 50 for the Vikings bring him down, and now we have an injured player towards the Vikings sideline. Again, we're going to hope he's okay. 2:43 here left in the half, and let's our stat man Damian comes in and give us an update.
Well, if you look at the stats, Robert, you know, you'd be thinking, well, what's the score? You know, the Pace Vikings with 235 yards of total offense. The Wolverines with only 96. But the only thing that matters is the scoreboard, and the Wolverines are a touchdown away from tying this ball game. On the Wolverine side, Munoz with 48 yards passing, Sanchez with 22, Taven Sane with that lone touchdown run of 20. He's got 27 on the evening. Of course, you got to throw in Sanchez with a 95-yard kickoff return.
And so you talk about 96 yards of total offense for the Wolverines. Interesting fact, 48 have come in through the air, and 48 have come through the ground. So a balanced attack, I guess, as well. Right. Unfortunately for the Wolverines, they have yet to break the century mark as we get ready to finish the half. They're 4 yards away. They're going to need about about 48 yards to get into the end zone. So let's hope here for the best for our very own hometown PSJA Wolverines and see what they got in store here on 2nd and 7 with the ball on the 48.
And Munoz looks over the defense. Looks like the Vikings may get a run blitz, and that forces the offense into a false start.
So the blitz gets to them, as we see the Wolverine offense just kind of
yeah, losing a little bit of a mental focus right there.
What do you call it? 2 for flinching? 2 for flinching. But
Well,
here they get 5 for flinching.
They do get 5 in football, and that's a big 5 yards right before the half. We're at 2:18 before we head into the halftime. And the Wolverines, let's see if they can overcome that penalty. It'll be 2nd and 12. They get pushed back to their own side of the football field. Good piece of running right there by Tavis Sane, and just couldn't get around the corner though.
And you know what I like about this young man is that he runs hard, Javi.
Yes, he does.
You see him there? Yeah, you're right. He wasn't able to get around the corner. He's able to get 4 yards on that carry. So the Wolverines facing 3rd and 11 here. But that young man is all guts. Here we see it's a low snap, takes the ball. Good job, misses a block there, cuts it upfield, gets spun around, but still keeps his feet churning.
So it'll be 3rd and 11 upcoming. Very big play right before the half upcoming for the Wolverine offense. Munoz trying to hurry the snap. He finally does get it. He's looking deep, fires. He's got a man. He's got a separation. He's caught it, folks. And number 4 is going to race into the end zone. Michael Munoz beats his defender. Great pass by Orlando Munoz. And then we're going to have roughing the passer. That'll come on the kickoff. But wow, what a great reception. What a great touchdown by the Wolverines.
So the Munoz to Munoz connection. We just talked about having to go 48 yards. Not much doing there, as they're able to do exactly soy brujo o algo, bro, because that was a 48-yard touchdown pass, and now we're looking at a 20-21 ball game here, awaiting the extra point. Here we see the replay. Munoz looks off his defender, tosses it to Munoz perfectly. He puts a biscuit in the basket on that one, Javi. He takes it to the house. Oh my goodness. We got ourselves a ball game.
Munoz to Munoz, and here we have an extra point away from being all knotted up with 1:13 remaining in the first half. And a good hold, a good kick, and just like that, man, presto, it is 21-21, PSJA Memorial coming back out of nowhere.
So they break the century mark. They have now a total of 149 yards. Orlando Munoz with 100 yards passing, and you know exactly what the doctor ordered. You know, and so we have 1:13. Pace Vikings though do have 3 timeouts on their side, but we are going to have a kickoff coming around about the 45-yard line after that late hit on the quarterback, and the hometown crowd just really getting behind their players tonight. Cheer team, dance, everybody coming together to support the team.
Great effort by the offense, and of course the Wolverines trying to get their first win of the season. They played great football, and as you mentioned, the kickoff will come from the Viking side of the football field, so who knows, maybe an onside kick is in store here.
And so just a quick shout out to some of our cameramen. I saw Max Salinas down there, Mr. Carrion. How's it going this evening? Great job out there, gentlemen. And for those other you guys down there, hey, thank you for the great job you've been doing week in and week out. I know you guys get tired standing on those legs. We see you on those stands. You know, your production staff and everybody up here is thankful for the job you do out there, gentlemen.
So the Wolverines will onside kick it. It's going to be a mad scramble for the ball. Let's see who comes up with it.
And these are the opportunities that we talked about it last night, Javi, because a similar situation played out, and this is a perfect place to do the onside kick to practice it, and that's exactly what Memorial does. So great call by the coaching staff. It doesn't go in their favor, but they didn't lose, but about 7 yards.
Yeah, exactly, because if the kicker kicks it through the end zone, the Vikings will have it at their own 25-yard line. So it is worth the risk right there. And the Pace Vikings will come out from their sideline now with 1:10 remaining. It's a ball game that is tied at 21-21. The Pace Vikings with all 3 timeouts. you know, the quarterback started 9 for 9. You said he was perfect. Well, after that, he's gone 4 for 8. And on first down, they elect to run the ball. That's a good 5 to 6 yards on first down. So trying to take a little bit of pressure off the quarterback, who almost became headless, as you mentioned, in that last possession.
And absolutely, so with the time ticking down under 50 seconds, they quickly get up to the line. The Wolverine coaches directing their players to where they want them to be. We're coming down to an interesting finish to this half.
And on second down, again, a running play, not much doing, just barely to the line of scrimmage. So it'll bring up a 3rd and 5, and a timeout is called.
So a 3rd and 5 deep in their own territory, with the Vikings calling timeout.
For the hottest deals, go to Mi Casa Furniture.
Save at Mi Casa Furniture.
75-33 Boca Chica, Brownsville.
And so, like I said, a very interesting finish to this half. The Mo coming over here to the home side and pack the house, doing the job that it's supposed to do, cheering on this young PSJA Wolverine team.
Well, what it tells me, Robert, they're probably going to run the ball here. They're going to try to pick it up through the ground. If they get it, great. If they don't, they're going to leave the Wolverines maybe with about 10 seconds and no timeout.
Well, I'm going to take that back. If they run the ball, Javi, a play usually runs about 4 to 5 seconds on average.
Right.
And if they're unable to convert, well, you called the timeout. So you're going to have yourselves about 25 to 24 seconds, no timeouts going before you receive the punt. So, yeah, you might be right. They might be about 12 to 15 seconds with a couple of shots in the end zone.
Well, we're about to find out. It is 3rd and 5. The quarterback keeper, he's going to try to get to the 42-yard line. He is going to get met and pushed back at the 40. So it's going to bring up a 4th and 2. Clock keeps moving. And no timeout called. I think Coach Uribe is going to be very happy, though, to go into the half. And here we see on the replay, you know, just good, solid defense. Standing them up at the 40, pushing them back. Great fight tonight by the Wolverines, offensively and defensively. And I didn't see the ball come out late, but they said he was down by contact. And that will draw a conclusion. A very, very good football game. PSG Memorial making a battle of it. In fact, it is all knotted up at 21. We're going to send it down to the field for the halftime entertainment.
We are this close.
We're this close.
We are this close of wanting to making history.
This close to changing the world.
We are this close.
This close. This close to making sure no child suffers a crippling disease
Ever again. This close.
We are this close to ending polio.
Ending polio. All we need is you.
This close.
If we don't act now, we may lose this chance forever. Help Rotary make history at endpolionow.org.
If you just graduated high school, are looking to change careers, or to upgrade your job skills, Texas Southmost College is the place to start. With over 50 certificates and associate degrees to choose from, TSC has the career for you. At TSC, you get a quality education that's close to home. Earn a certificate or an associate degree and get the education you need for today and tomorrow's job market.
Wouldn't you like to be in demand?
Register now at Texas Southmost College in Brownsville.
For over 65 years, VTX1 Companies has called South Texas home. And that means more to us than just being in a community. It means being part of the community. Through the good times and the hard times, celebrating every triumph and lending a helping hand whenever we can. From farm to city and neighbor to neighbor, VTX1 Companies is there, bringing friends, families, businesses, and communities closer together. VTX1 Companies, connecting you since '52.
Forever Memories, Antiques, and Collectibles is your source for vintage, antique, collectibles, vinyl records, and more. Located at 206 East Jackson in historic downtown Harlingen, It's forever memories, antiques, and collectibles. It's a step back in time with a soundtrack like none other. Open Monday through Saturday, filled with memories and more. Forever Memories is for you.
I opened Alex Restaurant with the intention to give people in Brownsville and those who visit us a very unique experience in the area of retail. We saw the need to give people a personal experience that only a boutique could provide. Here in Alexandria, what we work for is searching for different pieces, textures we bring from India, from Mexico, trying to make this a different experience. The people to find treasures here in their own valley. It's a pleasure to welcome everybody and making them a part of our family. We invite you to discover Brownsville. You can't miss it.
Hino Gas is a proud supporter of Valley High School sports and academics. We encourage you to be prepared for the fall and winter season. Visit hinogas.com to get your propane discount. At Hino Gas, we're here to help. Call us today.
For the hottest deals, go to Mi Casa Furniture.
Save at Mi Casa Furniture.
7533 Boca Chica, Brownsville.
We are this close.
We're this close.
We are this close. Of uncertainty to making history.
This close to changing the world.
We are this close.
This close to making sure no child suffers a crippling disease
Ever again. This close.
We are this close to ending polio.
Ending polio. All we need is you.
This close.
If we donate now, we may lose this chance forever. Help Rotary make history at endpolionow.org.
If you just graduated high school, are looking to change careers, or to upgrade your job skills, Texas Southmost College is the place to start. With over 50 certificates and associate degrees to choose from, TSC has the career for you. At TSC, you get a quality education that's close to home. Earn a certificate or an associate degree and get the education you need for today and tomorrow's job market.
Wouldn't you like to be in demand?
Register now at Texas Southmost College in Brownsville.
For over 65 years, VTX1 Companies has called South Texas home. And that means more to us than just being in a community. It means being part of the community. Through the good times and the hard times, celebrating every triumph and lending a helping hand whenever we can. From farm to city and neighbor to neighbor, VTX1 Companies is there, bringing friends, families, businesses, and communities closer together. VTX1 Companies, connecting you since '52.
Forever Memories, Antiques, and Collectibles is your source for vintage, antique, collectibles, vinyl records, and more. Located at 206 East Jackson in historic downtown Harlingen, it's Forever Memories, Antiques, and Collectibles. It's a step back in time with a soundtrack like none other. Open Monday through Saturday, filled with memories and more. Forever Memories is for you.
I opened Alex Restaurant with the intention to give people in Brownsville and those who visit us a very unique experience in the area of retail. We saw the need to give people a personal experience that only a boutique could provide. Here in Alexandria, what we work for is searching for different pieces, textures we bring from India, from Mexico, trying to make this a different experience. The people to find treasures here in their own valley. It's a pleasure to welcome everybody and making them a part of our family. We invite you to discover Brownsville. You can't miss it.
Hino Gas is a proud supporter of Valley High School sports and academics. We encourage you to be prepared for the fall and winter season. Visit hinogas.com to get your propane discount. At Hino Gas, we're here to help. Call us today.
For the hottest deals, go to Mi Casa Furniture.
Save at Mi Casa Furniture.
7533 Boca Chica, Brownsville.
We are this close.
We're this close.
We are this close of wanting to making history.
This close to changing the world.
We are this close.
This close to making sure no child suffers a crippling disease
Ever again. This close.
We are this close to ending polio.
Ending polio. All we need is you.
This close.
If we don't act now, we may lose this chance forever. Help Rotary make history at endpolionow.org.
If you just graduated high school, are looking to change careers, or to upgrade your job skills, Texas Southmost College is the place to start. With over 50 certificates and associate degrees to choose from, TSC has the career for you. At TSC, you get a quality education that's close to home. Earn a certificate or an associate degree and get the education you need for today and tomorrow's job market.
Wouldn't you like to be in demand?
Register now at Texas Southmost College in Brownsville.
For over 65 years, VTX1 Companies has called South Texas home. And that means more to us than just being in a community. It means being part of the community. Through the good times and the hard times, celebrating every triumph, and lending a helping hand whenever we can. From farm to city and neighbor to neighbor, VTX1 Companies is there, bringing friends, families, businesses, and communities closer together. VTX1 Companies, connecting you since '52.
Forever Memories, Antiques, and Collectibles is your source for vintage, antique, collectibles, vinyl records, and more. Located at 206 East Jackson in historic downtown Harlingen, it's Forever Memories, Antiques, and Collectibles. It's a step back in time with a soundtrack like none other. Open Monday through Saturday, filled with memories and more. Forever Memories is for you.
I opened Alex Oral with the intention to give people in Brownsville and those who visit us a very unique experience in the area of retail. We saw the need to give people a personal experience that only a boutique could provide. Here in Alex Oral, what we work for is searching for different pieces, textures we bring from India, from Mexico, trying to make this a different experience. The people to find treasures here in their own valley. It's a pleasure to welcome everybody and making them a part of our family. We invite you to discover Brownsville. You can't miss it.
Hino Gas is a proud supporter of Valley High School sports and academics. We encourage you to be prepared for the fall and winter season. Visit hinogas.com to get your propane discount. At Hino Gas, we're here to help. Call us today.
For the hottest deals, go to Mi Casa Furniture.
Save at Mi Casa Furniture.
7533 Boca Chica, Brownsville.
We are this close.
We're this close.
We are this close of wanting to making history.
This close to changing the world.
We're this close.
This close to making sure no child suffers a crippling disease
Ever again. This close.
We are this close to ending polio.
Ending polio. All we need is you.
This close.
If we don't act now, we may lose this chance forever. Help Rotary make history at endpolionow.org.
If you just graduated high school, are looking to change careers, or to upgrade your job skills, Texas Southmost College is the place to start. With over 50 certificates and associate degrees to choose from, TSC has the career for you. At TSC, you get a quality education that's close to home. Earn a certificate or an associate degree and get the education you need for today and tomorrow's job market.
Wouldn't you like to be in demand?
Register now. Texas Southmost College in Brownsville.
For over 65 years, VTX1 Companies has called South Texas home. And that means more to us than just being in a community. It means being part of the community. Through the good times and the hard times, celebrating every triumph and lending a helping hand whenever we can. From farm to city and neighbor to neighbor, VTX1 Companies is there, bringing friends, families, businesses, and communities closer together. VTX1 Companies, connecting you since '52.
Forever Memories, Antiques, and Collectibles is your source for vintage, antique, collectibles, vinyl records, and more. Located at 206 East Jackson in historic downtown Harlingen, it's Forever Memories, Antiques, and Collectibles. It's a step back in time with a soundtrack like none other. Open Monday through Saturday, filled with memories and more. Forever Memories is for you.
I opened Alex Restaurant with the intention to give people in Brownsville and those who visit us a very unique experience in the area of retail. We saw the need to give people a personal experience that only a boutique could provide. Here in Alex Restaurant, what we work for is searching for different pieces, textures we bring from India, from Mexico, trying to make this a different experience. The people to find treasures here in their own valley. It's a pleasure to welcome everybody and making them a part of our family. We invite you to discover Brownsville. You can't miss it.
Hino Gas is a proud supporter of Valley High School sports and academics. We encourage you to be prepared for the fall and winter season. Visit hinogas.com to get your propane discount. At Hino Gas, we're here to help. Call us today.
For the hottest deals, go to Mi Casa Furniture.
Save at Mi Casa Furniture.
7533 Boca Chica, Brownsville.
We are this close.
We're this close.
We are this close of wanting to making history.
This close to changing the world.
We're this close.
This close to making sure no child suffers a crippling disease
Ever again. This close.
We are this close to ending polio.
Ending polio. All we need is you.
This close.
If we don't act now, we may lose this chance forever. Help Rotary make history at endpolionow.org.
If you just graduated high school, are looking to change careers, or to upgrade your job skills, Texas Southmost College is the place to start. With over 50 certificates and associate degrees to choose from, TSC has the career for you. At TSC, you get a quality education that's close to home. Earn a certificate or an associate degree and get the education you need for today and tomorrow's job market.
Wouldn't you like to be in demand?
Register now. Texas Southmost College in Brownsville.
For over 65 years, VTX1 Companies has called South Texas home. And that means more to us than just being in a community. It means being part of the community. Through the good times and the hard times, celebrating every triumph and lending a helping hand whenever we can. From farm to city and neighbor to neighbor, VTX1 Companies is there, bringing friends, families, businesses, and communities closer together. VTX1 Companies, connecting you since '52.
Forever Memories, Antiques, and Collectibles is your source for vintage, antique, collectibles, vinyl records, and more. Located at 206 East Jackson in historic downtown Harlingen, it's Forever Memories, Antiques, and Collectibles. It's a step back in time with a soundtrack like none other. Open Monday through Saturday, filled with memories and more. Forever Memories is for you.
I opened Alex Restaurant with the intention to give people in Brownsville and those who visit us a very unique experience in the area of retail. We saw the need to give people a personal experience that only a boutique could provide. Here in Alex Restaurant, what we work for is searching for different pieces, textures we bring from India, from Mexico, trying to make this a different experience. The people to find treasures here in their own valley. It's a pleasure to welcome everybody and making them a part of our family. We invite you to discover Brownsville. You can't miss it.
Hino Gas is a proud supporter of Valley High School sports and academics. We encourage you to be prepared for the fall and winter season. Visit hinogas.com to get your propane discount. At Hino Gas, we're here to help. Call us today.
For the hottest deals, go to Mi Casa Furniture.
Save at Mi Casa Furniture.
7533 Boca Chica, Brownsville.
We are this close.
We're this close.
We are this close of wanting to making history.
This close to changing the world.
We are this close.
This close to making sure no child suffers a crippling disease
Ever again. This close.
We are this close to ending polio.
Ending polio. All we need is you.
This close.
If we donate now, we may lose this chance forever. Help Rotary make history at endpolionow.org.
If you just graduated high school, are looking to change careers, or to upgrade your job skills, Texas Southmost College is the place to start. With over 50 certificates and associate degrees to choose from, TSC has the career for you. At TSC, you get a quality education that's close to home. Earn a certificate or an associate degree and get the education you need for today and tomorrow's job market.
Wouldn't you like to be in demand?
Register now at Texas Southmost College in Brownsville.
For over 65 years, VTX1 Companies has called South Texas home. And that means more to us than just being in a community. It means being part of the community. Through the good times and the hard times, celebrating every triumph and lending a helping hand whenever we can. From farm to city and neighbor to neighbor, VTX1 Companies is there, bringing friends, families, businesses, and communities closer together. VTX1 Companies, connecting you since '52.
Forever Memories, Antiques, and Collectibles is your source for vintage, antique, collectibles, vinyl records, and more. Located at 206 East Jackson in historic downtown Harlingen, it's Forever Memories, Antiques, and Collectibles. It's a step back in time with a soundtrack like none other. Open Monday through Saturday, filled with memories and more. Forever Memories is for you.
I opened Alex Restaurant with the intention to give people in Brownsville and those who visit us a very unique experience in the area of retail. We saw the need to give people a personal experience that only a boutique could provide. Here in Alex and Raw, what we work for is searching for different pieces, textures we bring from India, from Mexico, trying to make this a different experience. The people to find treasures here in their own valley. It's a pleasure to welcome everybody and making them a part of our family. We invite you to discover Brownsville. You can't miss it.
Hino Gas is a proud supporter of Valley High School sports and academics. We encourage you to be prepared for the fall and winter season. Visit hinogas.com to get your propane discount. At Hino Gas, we're here to help. Call us today.
For the hottest deals, go to Mi Casa Furniture.
Save at Mi Casa Furniture.
7533 Boca Chica, Brownsville.
We are this close.
We're this close.
We are this close. Of wanting to making history.
This close to changing the world.
We are this close.
This close to making sure no child suffers a crippling disease
Ever again. This close.
We are this close to ending polio.
Ending polio. All we need is you.
This close.
If we don't act now, we may lose this chance forever. Help Rotary make history at endpolionow.org.
If you just graduated high school, are looking to change careers, or to upgrade your job skills, Texas Southmost College is the place to start. With over 50 certificates and associate degrees to choose from, TSC has the career for you. At TSC, you get a quality education that's close to home. Earn a certificate or an associate degree and get the education you need for today and tomorrow's job market.
Wouldn't you like to be in demand?
Register now at Texas Southmost College in Brownsville.
For over 65 years, VTX1 Companies has called South Texas home. And that means more to us than just being in a community. It means being part of the community. Through the good times and the hard times, celebrating every triumph and lending a helping hand whenever we can. From farm to city and neighbor to neighbor, VTX1 Companies is there, bringing friends, families, businesses, and communities closer together. VTX1 Companies, connecting you since '52.
Forever Memories, Antiques, and Collectibles is your source for vintage, antique, collectibles, vinyl records, and more. Located at 206 East Jackson in historic downtown Harlingen, it's Forever Memories, Antiques, and Collectibles. It's a step back in time with a soundtrack like none other. Open Monday through Saturday, filled with memories and more. Forever Memories is for you.
I opened Alex Restaurant with the intention to give people in Brownsville and those who visit us a very unique experience in the area of retail. We saw the need to give people a personal experience that only a boutique could provide. Here in Alex and Raw, what we work for is searching for different pieces, textures we bring from India, from Mexico, trying to make this a different experience. The people to find treasures here in their own valley. It's a pleasure to welcome everybody and making them a part of our family. We invite you to discover Brownsville. You can't miss it.
Hino Gas is a proud supporter of Valley High School sports and academics. We encourage you to be prepared for the fall and winter season. Visit hinogas.com to get your propane discount. At Hino Gas, we're here to help. Call us today.
The action of the second half.
Thank you there, Pedro, on the halftime entertainment. And welcome back, folks, to second half football here at PSJA Stadium. And we have a great game going on right now. The visiting Pace Vikings stormed out to an early lead, but our PSJA Memorial Wolverines have stormed back after a storm and lightning delay to start the football game. It is 21-21. It's anybody's ball game.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Javi. Hey, the Vikings were really quick to put up 21 points in the first quarter. But that's it. Our very own PSJA Wolverines, as you see them storming out, as again we say storming out of the helmet there, were able to match those 21 points before the half was over. And so we got ourselves a tie ball game, 21-21. And this is one of the faster halftimes we've seen, as there's still about 5 seconds left on the clock before we get the half ready to start.
The late start, you know, we're barely at halftime. We're barely about to kick off the third quarter. And as we mentioned, you know, the Pace Vikings come in undefeated in district. The Wolverines still looking for that first win. And it looked like the Vikings were going to run away with it. And all of a sudden the Wolverines get a touchdown return by Joaquin Sanchez. They get a defensive turnover. A couple plays later, a long touchdown pass from Munoz to Munoz, and it is 21-21. You know, you look at the stat sheet, it's still dominated by the visitors, though.
Yeah, you're right. 245 yards put up by the Pace Vikings, the visiting Pace Vikings, all the way from Brownsville, compared to only 149 from our own hometown Wolverines. But they've made those 149 yards count. As we said, we have a 21-21 ball game here, Javi.
And the big arm of Jose Banda, who started off 9 for 9 with 3 touchdown passes. You know, he's gone silent, and you got to credit the Wolverines defensive front. They've been getting after the quarterback, a vicious hit right before the half ended. And you also give credit to the defensive backs. You know, they've had a couple of coverage sacks.
Absolutely. Banda's favorite receiver is Zapata, and they pretty much kept him in check. But here, to start off the second half, the Vikings are going to receive the kickoff. So they're going to be hungry to put up some more points, as we see a pooch kick come up, fielded again by number 1 there for the Vikings, takes it up the field to about the 46-yard lines of the Vikings. So good field position. The Vikings are going to start at their own 47-yard line.
Excellent starting field position for the Vikings. Of course, they're led by the quarterback, Jose Banda, with over 200 yards passing in the first quarter. You know, and you mentioned Zapata. He has yet to make a reception. He came in as a team's leading receiver. He's been shut out this evening. And the Wolverine defense will be tested early here at the beginning of the third quarter. Excellent field position, as we mentioned, for the Pace Vikings at their own 47-yard line. Tied up at 21. And on first down, Banda, of course, from the shotgun formation, gives it what looked to be a promising drive, kept the running back, number 5, Zapata, instead of turning it upfield, he kept heading towards the sideline. He got chopped down. That's well, they're just going to say he got back to the original line of scrimmage.
So they're waiting for number 76, the lineman, to get out into the open field. Here we see a handoff to Zapata, who's quickly met by the defender. They're number 1 for the Wolverines, Adrian Garza. Great tackle there. And number 76, unable to get to that second level. That's Rafael Recio, the junior offensive lineman for the Vikings. So because of that, good stop for the Wolverine defense.
It was a tremendous effort on first down. Can they back it up here on second down? Quarterback gets through the containment, makes a defender miss, and all of a sudden, you know, it appeared Banda was not going to get anything. He ends up getting about 12 yards, and that's a big first down.
And that's exactly how the Vikings started that first series of the ball game. We had several defenders missing tackles, and I kind of winced a little bit because I thought we were going to be able to get him for a 2-yard loss. Instead, he breaks that out for a 12-yard gain. 1st and 10 for the Vikings, now at the Wolverine 39-yard line.
So the Vikings quickly cross midfield, trying to retake this lead here in the early stages of the third quarter. Again, a big run up the middle, and again it is Zapata And he's still on his feet. In fact, he's going to finally get tripped up and fall down at about the 12-yard line, make that the 13, so another big run.
And he just bulldozes over number 23 for the Wolverines, Alexis Cortez, the junior defensive back. And, you know, we're starting to see it kind of the way the game started in the beginning. This half is beginning the same way, with the Vikings pretty much dictating what they want to do, run, pass, run. But again, a very well-balanced attack for the Vikings.
So it'll be a new set of downs for the Vikings inside the Wolverine 15-yard line. Another give up the middle, another sneaky run. It looked like there was nothing there, and it ends up being about a 3-yard pickup.
So very, very sneaky on those guys there, as they're able to move the ball up for 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7, and a cloud of dust. The receivers showing like they were going to run for a pass pattern, but nothing doing there as they give the ball up the middle. But the Wolverines do a good job bringing them down, but not before they get a 3-yard gain.
So it'll be up to the Wolverine defense here on 2nd and 7 to deny the Vikings from getting in the end zone. They've done it rather well in the second quarter. Let's see if they can continue that success here in the third quarter. Quarterback keeper, and he's going to jet in for a touchdown. Just no containment on the outside. And Jose Banda with a touchdown run to open up the third quarter.
He does an excellent job allowing his blockers get to where they needed to get to the first level, then move up onto the second level as he takes the ball off to the right-hand side. And just easy pickings. As you said, Javi, the defenders kind of slid off of him. He takes it into the end zone to put up the first points of the second half, giving the Vikings a 27-21 lead as we await the extra point here.
And the extra point will be attempted by Garcia. And it appears to be good. So just like that, doesn't take but more than a couple of minutes for the Pace Vikings to regain a 7-point lead. We're here at PSJA Stadium, DHR.
For the hottest deals, go to Mi Casa Furniture.
Save at Mi Casa Furniture.
7533 Boca Chica, Brownsville.
Can't say that they did none, because again, they had their offense pretty much humming along that first quarter, I should say, and they went back to the drawing board and back to what was working, and that's exactly what happened here, as they now have a 28-21 lead after the first series here with 9:31 left in the third quarter.
So it's going to be interesting to see if the Wolverines can answer that quick score. You know, one thing right before the half, Robert, on that last touchdown pass from Munoz to Munoz. Munoz got banged up, a late hit, and he hobbled off the field. So hopefully he's ready to go here in the second half. They're going to need him as the Wolverines are about to receive, and they are trailing by 7 points.
You're right. Prior to that big hit, he was already hobbling himself. So we're going to see what the Wolverines have in store for us.
And the Pace kickoff is going to be fielded at the 7-yard line. Right up quickly, trying to get around the edge right in front of the Wolverine sideline. He does get the edge, cuts it upfield. Excellent kickoff return. That's about a 40-yard kickoff return by Ovedo, and that is going to give the Wolverines excellent field position.
So a bad angle there by number 23, Silver Macias. Hayo Silver was not able to get across and make the tackle here. We see Ovedo run around Silver and able to get positive yardage, give the Wolverines beautiful field position at their own 47-yard line.
So the Pace Vikings took the opening kickoff in the third quarter, started third position at the 47. Turned that into a touchdown. Let's see if the Wolverines can return the favor as they start at their own 47-yard line. We do have Munoz at quarterback. No, we do not have Munoz at quarterback. The give is up the middle to Sanchez. It'll be number 14, Alex Leiva, the junior, filling in for Orlando Munoz.
So good call there, Javi. As you mentioned, you know, Munoz was hobbling after that first half, and you said he took a big hit. And before the punt was taken on that second half, Leiva came in, and we see Leiva come back and take control of the reins here. So the Wolverines, having to dig deep in their pockets, here with the backup quarterback.
You know, we've been covering football here now for several years, and this is the first time that I remember that Munoz is not at quarterback for the Wolverines. I know he was a starter since his sophomore year. So a new quarterback and not a very good result. The Viking defense pinning their ears back and all over Sanchez on that play.
Not only did they pin their ears back, they pinned Sanchez's ears back to the ground. That was number 10, Javier Garcia, the senior linebacker for the Vikings, lays him out, gets up and celebrates a little. And now our own hometown Wolverines facing a 3rd and 15 here, Javi, with the ball at their own 42-yard line.
Leyva will have 2 receivers to its side. Let's see how he passes. He fires and he connects. But well short of a first down. The receiver, I believe, was AJ no, it was number 7 actually. Sandoval with the reception, and a good pass by the quarterback, but just well short of the first down.
So that puts the ball just across midfield. Here we see the replay. Good arm motion, throws it to receiver, but he's quickly met by the defender, tackled down to the ground as he's crossing midfield. So the ball just a tad bit on the visitor side of the 50, and the quarterback, number 14, Alexis Leyva, getting ready for the punt.
So the Wolverines will be punting, and no one will touch it, and finally will be down at the Pace Vikings 22-yard line. So the first battle of the 3rd quarter was won by the Pace offense and the Pace defense.
So kind of a replay of what we saw in the 1st quarter. Vikings take it, score, Wolverines punt. The 2nd series, Vikings took it and scored.
Right.
So the defense better answer the call here before they find themselves in a 14-point deficit.
Yeah, the Wolverines played outstanding defensively in the 2nd quarter. They're going to have to do it here in the 3rd quarter. It'll be 1st and 10, but before that, the Wolverines were a man short.
2nd half.
And are forced to call a timeout.
And a good timeout there, Javi. You do not want to go in there 11-10 with the offense already knowing what they're going to call, and the defense having to respond there. So, you know, unfortunately there, because of miscommunication, the defense is 1 man short, but they do have to call a timeout. So rather than give up a big play on that one, they do call a timeout, but it is going to be a crucial timeout as they're facing a deficit by 7 points with 7 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. A beautiful evening, as it turns out, after this weather delay.
It is a beautiful evening. The forecast called for continued rain, but fortunately it is not here at PSJA Stadium. Of course, the late start. But we're going to get this one in, as it is a district game. Of course, if the game would not have been able to have been played tonight, we'd be back here tomorrow.
Well, somebody would have been back here tomorrow.
I would have been back here tomorrow, and I'm sure you would have been sitting right next to me.
Here as well, exactly.
So on first down, the Vikings give it up the middle, and that'll be about 3 yards. So good job by the Wolverine defense, but still a 3-yard pickup by the Vikings.
Oh, and we're going to have a late flag as there are some extracurricular activities. Number 35 for the Wolverines is on the ground in a lot of pain, and I think his teammates responded. Unfortunately for the Wolverines, that might cost them 15 here, Javi.
Yeah.
We are this close.
We're this close.
We are this close of wanting to making history.
This close to changing the world.
We're this close.
This close. This close to making sure no child suffers a crippling disease
Ever again. This close.
We are this close to ending polio.
Ending polio. All we need is you.
This close.
If we don't act now, we may lose this chance forever. Help Rotary make history at endpolionow.org.
If you just graduated high school, are looking to change careers, or to upgrade your job skills, Texas Southmost College is the place to start. With over 50 certificates and associate degrees to choose from, TSC has the career for you. At TSC, you get a quality education that's close to home. Earn a certificate or an associate degree, and get the education you need for today and tomorrow's job market.
Wouldn't you like to be in demand?
Register now at Texas Southmost College in Brownsville.
So a lot of hard work goes into that, and the injured player for PSJA Memorial is walking off the field. We're going to resume play, but let's figure out what the penalty is all about.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 32. Unsportsmanlike conduct, 76. Those will offset. Second down.
So fortunate for the Wolverines, it is offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct. The ball will set there at the 25-yard line. And, you know, it is going to be 2nd and 7 with 7 minutes left. And our own Wolverines are facing a 7-point deficit.
It'll be 2nd and 7. As you mentioned, the Pace Vikings break their huddle. Of course, they're led by their quarterback, Jose Banda. In shotgun formation, takes a snap, gives it to his running back. Not much doing there. And that'll be maybe a loss of a yard. So the Wolverine defense getting it done here on the second series defensively of the second half.
And so now, beautiful stop there for the Wolverines on that down. And Pace Vikings looking like they're going to be content with running the ball and trying to run this clock down, as we're now going to be under 6 minutes after this play is over.
Well, they're slowing the pace down, that's for sure. And Pace will elect to throw on 3rd down, and it is caught. No, they're going to say it's incomplete. The defender undercut the receiver. I thought he was going to come up with an interception, sneaks by his hands, and then the receiver, Jalen Garcia, almost made a great catch. Instead, it's going to be an incomplete pass. It should be a punting situation upcoming for the Pace Vikings.
So a wonderful job by the Wolverine defense answering the call and stopping the Vikings here on this drive, avoiding a repeat of what happened in the first quarter, where the Vikings were able to score 3 touchdowns. Now they find themselves here in a wonderful position to get the ball very close to midfield.
So a good snap. The punt is up, and it's going to go down the sideline. I was hoping it'd go out of bounds about midfield, and instead it kicks inward. So a good punt by the...
For over 65 years, VTX1 Companies has called South Texas home. And that means more to us than just being in a community. It means being part of the community. Through the good times and the hard times, celebrating every triumph, and lending a helping hand whenever we can. From farm to city and neighbor to neighbor, VTX1 Companies is there, bringing friends, families, businesses, and communities closer together. VTX1 Companies, connecting you since '52.
Fine reporting there by Mr. Leja, and now we know why we have a different quarterback in the ball game, and hopefully Munoz will be up and around, get ready for his next ball game. Of course, next week the Wolverines will play at Rio Grande City.
So Rio Grande played last night. I think they walked away with a loss as well, and so two teams that are going to be very hungry to keep climbing the ladder in district play, and a lot of ball game left here still, Javi. The Wolverines still 7 points down, facing a 2nd and 6 with the ball at the 41-yard line, 5-11 and ticking.
Well, the big difference now will be whether Leva can carry this Wolverine offense. And on 2nd and medium, the give is to the running back, and again the Pace Vikings were expecting that play. Sanchez just nowhere to go,
and the quarterback was better off pulling the ball out of the pocket there, as he could have maybe set up a screen there for the receivers, but that's not what was called on the field. Instead, the offensive coordinator making the quarterback a little bit more comfortable by handing off the ball. But defense pretty much already aware of that they got a backup quarterback there, Javi. So they're going to key in on Sanchez, as Sanchez has been the workhorse for the Wolverines. So expect a heavy dose of Sanchez or Oviedo as the quarterback is looking to the sideline for the call.
Yeah, Leva's got to get the ball downfield somehow, and he's going to try to do it right now. He's going to pass. He has a man open, and he does barely sneak it through. What an outstanding grab. Oviedo with a reception, but he's banged up as well. It'll be a first down for the Wolverines as we have an official timeout.
Forever Memories, Antiques, and Collectibles is your source for vintage, antique, collectibles, vinyl records, and more. Located at 206 East Jackson in historic downtown Harlingen, it's Forever Memories, Antiques, and Collectibles. It's a step back in time with a soundtrack like none other. Open Monday through Saturday, filled with memories and more. Forever Memories is for you.
I opened Alex Oral with the intention to give people in Brownsville and those who visit us a very unique experience in the area of retail. We saw the need to give people a personal experience that only a boutique could provide. Here in Alex Oral, what we work for is searching for different pieces, textures we bring from India, from Mexico, trying to make this a different experience. The people to find treasures here in their own valley. It's a pleasure to welcome everybody and making them a part of our family. We invite you to discover Brownsville. You can't miss it.
By the Wolverines special teams, and that's really what's kept them in the game.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Javi. The defense was able to answer the call late in the first half and stop the Vikings from putting any points on the board. And the offense answered the call in the second quarter, able to match those points that the Vikings had put up. But here in the opening play of the third quarter, the Vikings quickly scored. And now as we're way beyond the halfway point of the third quarter, we do have a 28-21 ball game. And I take that back, Javi. The ball will be on the 48-yard line of the Wolverines.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Wolverines. Of course, Alex Leyva right now leading the Wolverines. He's going to be down one of his skilled players as Oviedo walks to the sidelines. Couple of split receivers to each side of the field. Leyva rolls out to his right, the near side, tosses, passes into heavy coverage, and he almost got it to his receiver. Not able to hang on was Alexis Coronado. That would have been about an 8 or 9 yard pickup if he does.
Yeah, but on the flip side, Javi, very fortunate that ball didn't get away from Coronado as it was thrown behind him. Coronado was able to bring his arms out and bring that ball down. Otherwise, it's going to go right into the basket of the defender for a quick interception there. So again, Alexa Leyva trying to get comfortable here as the signal caller.
And Leyva working the play clock down to 5 seconds. Finally a snap with 3. He fires it. A little bit too much steam on that one. That's going to sail past the intended receiver, Jared Sandoval.
So again, Leyva not looking very comfortable back there as the quarterback. As when he's setting up his feet, he's very high on his throws. As far as when he's releasing the ball, he's up on those toes, and as the effect of that, that ball sailing high of the receivers or behind the receivers. So he's really going to have to get those feet under him, get rid of those butterflies, because he is now the signal caller, and he's practiced this before, and so game time situation here for Leyva.
So he's going to pass it again, fires, throws, hits his intended receiver. And that was Sandoval, Jared Sandoval with the reception. It's going to be about a yard short, maybe 2 yards. So the Wolverines, I'm sure, down by 7 with 3:25 remaining in the third quarter. Will probably go for it here on 4th down.
Yeah, you're in no man's land here with the ball on the 43-yard line. Too far for a field goal, too close to punt. And it's exactly what they're doing on 4th and 2 here, Javi.
And on 4th and 2, let's see what they have in store. It's a quick toss. He's got a lot of running room. Does running back. He's headed down the sideline. He's got one man to beat. He's going to get dragged down from behind. Of course, that was Teva Sane using his great speed around the edge. Great run right there. First down for the Wolverines.
So a little Zeke hand action there, as you said, feed me the ball, feed me the ball. And he's very elusive. The defense underjudges his speed, and he just explodes out to the sideline, heads it up towards the south side of the end zone, and he's able to get a first down for the Wolverines, setting the ball here, 1st and 10, ball on the 12-yard line.
New set of downs. The Wolverines trying to tie the game up. They're a touchdown and an extra point away. Sanchez with the carry. Not much doing. Never really went north or south. Indecisive there on that run, and that's going to make it a 2 to 3 yard loss on the play.
And that's something Sanchez probably does better running north and south than he does east and west. But if you walk away as the offensive coordinator, you see that really nobody was keying in on the quarterback there, Javi.
Right.
They're expecting them to give the ball to Sanchez, so that might have come into play later on in the play calling.
Yeah, first down, the Wolverines have been very predictable in running the ball. Here on second down, they pass it, and wow, that could have been intercepted and taken back to the house. Fortunately, it was dropped by the defensive back.
Number 9, reading the quarterback's eyes, Sebastian Salazar, the senior linebacker, just steps into the throwing lane, and the ball bounces off his shoulders, fortunately for the Wolverines, as they call a timeout, facing a third.
PSJA.
Facing a 3rd and 13 here with the ball on the 15-yard line.
Hino Gas is a proud supporter of Valley High School sports and academics. We encourage you to be prepared for the fall and winter season. Visit HinoGas.com to get your propane discount. At Hino Gas, we're here to help. Call us today.
We have 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter, and of course we still have the entire fourth quarter. And I think it's a good timeout though, Robert. You know, they're in striking distance right now. It's 3rd and long, but I can pretty much guarantee if they don't pick it up here on 3rd down, they're probably going to go for it on 4th. So I'm sure they're trying to manage a play here that'll give them an opportunity to pick it up on 4th down.
And something you have to keep it in mind here, if you don't get it here on 3rd down, Javi, 3 points would not be bad walking away with, because again, the Vikings have a very potent kicker on their side.
And it's a jet sweep. Davis Sane trying to get around the edge. He is going to get swallowed up before he does that. No gain on the play, so it'll be 4th down. And from that point, I believe they're going to spot him at the 14. It'll probably be about a 31-yard field goal attempt. So let's see if the Wolverines try to go for 3 or try to pick up a very long first down on 4th down.
And you know, it wouldn't have been a bad play there to give the ball, hand off the ball there to Sane and have him do a pass there as everybody came up. But here we get ready for the field goal and see what happens here.
31-yard field goal attempt is up. Plenty of leg. And that's good. Great job by the field goal kicker.
For the hottest deals, go to Mi Casa Furniture.
Save at Mi Casa Furniture.
75-33 Boca Chica, Brownsville.
Are only 4 points apart from pace when we have a little bit more over a minute on the third quarter. Back to you.
And you're absolutely right. The quarterback did a good job handling the reins, moving that offense down the field, using all his tools available in Oviedo, in Sanchez, and in Munoz to get them those 3 points and make this a 4-point ball game. And as we said earlier, you know, every point counts. So rather than you know, gamble and walk away with 0, they do put up 3 points. So good job there. I think it was a good call there by the coaching staff.
Oh, most definitely. You know, get what you can when you can. They're within striking distance, and you know, going back to Alex Leyva filling in for Munoz, you know, he completed 2 passes for 20 yards on that drive. A big run by Tavis Smith set up that field goal. And here on the return on the kickoff, a lot of running room right in front of the Pace bench. And the Pace Vikings will start with very good field position at their own 42-yard line.
So the kick returner takes a kick at the 5-yard line with running room, takes it off to the right-hand side, goes around his the visiting side there, and is able to, like you said, take the ball up to the 42-yard line. We are with 1 minute and 3 seconds left here in the third quarter. Vikings have all of their timeouts left. The Wolverines with only one, and the Wolverines down by 4. You know, I'm expecting a heavy dose of pass pressure here. If not that defensive line, I'm expecting to get some good penetration to stop the run.
Well, let's see if the Vikings do elect to run. They do give it to Zapata. Zapata around the right side, right in front of the Pace sidelines, and it'll be about a 3-yard pickup for the Pace Vikings. That'll bring up a 2nd and 7 from their own 45-yard line.
45-yard line, and you see number 1 for the Wolverines, Adrian Garza, favoring those Cavs down there, Javi,
right.
And hopefully that's not a factor on this play, as those players have been out there for an awfully long time.
Yeah, and Adrian Garza, of course, is also doubles as a receiver. So on 2nd down, a quarterback keeper, big opening around the right side, the far sideline, and Banda rumbles for big yards right there. He's going to get pushed out at the 30-yard line, so that'll be a big gain, big chunk of yards for the Pace Vikings.
Again, Banda very deceptive with his speed, as you see him on the quarterback draw, fake the handoff, and then take it off the right-hand side of the offensive line, and just boom, hits a hole and goals, hits the sideline, and puts the ball now at the Wolverine 30-yard line, 1st and 10, 15.7 seconds to go.
Yeah, as we come close to ending the third quarter, the Wolverines got to get a stop here. And they give us up the middle. And that was Zapata with a lot more running room this time. And the clock will momentarily stop to set up the chains.
And that is going to be number 4, Munoz, on the field right now. Again, favoring those Cavs. And number 1 also taking his helmet off over here. So the defense really struggling with the cramping issue. I'm thinking that's what it is. But good play calling over there by the Vikings, and keeping the Wolverines guessing, because they're getting those chunks of yards. They're getting first downs on those plays. We had 15 seconds left to go. Now we only have 8 seconds, but they're able to get a first down with only 7 seconds wasted on the clock here in the third quarter.
Yeah, you know, we alluded to it earlier that a lot of these kids for the Wolverines, they go both ways. A lot of the receivers are, in fact, also their defensive backs. So on a hot, humid night, as you mentioned, they will get drained, and it's important for them to replenish. And it does appear to be a cramp. He's going to walk off. Of course, he's got to sit out a play. And as soon as we get the clock started, I'm sure the Vikings are going to elect to allow the third quarter to end. And right now, you know, the Brownsville Pace Vikings trying to remain undefeated. They're trying to deny the Wolverines from picking up their initial win of the season. It's 28-24.
And so, like we talked about earlier, Javi, the weather outside, it's about 80 degrees out there. It feels like 87 degrees. The humidity.
We are this close.
We're this close.
We are this close.
Of uncertainty to making history.
This close to changing the world.
We are this close.
This close. This close to making sure no child suffers a crippling disease
ever again. This close.
We are this close to ending polio.
Ending polio. All we need is you.
This close.
If we don't act now, we may lose this chance forever. Help Rotary make history at endpolionow.org.
Himself with 51, followed by Zapata with 49.
So 266 yards of total offense by the quarterbacks for the Vikings, Banda. And now they have the ball in Wolverine territory at the 15-yard line, knocking on the door. Hopefully our hometown Wolverines keep them from scoring as the snap goes off to Zapata. No, Banda keeps it. Goes off the right-hand side and extends out. Touchdown Vikings, Javi.
Banda doing it himself. You know, a great play fake right there to Zapata. And Banda just simply found a seam through that offensive line. He burst through it. Lunged for the goal line. They said he crossed it. And that's a touchdown for the Pace Vikings.
So the Wolverines facing a 10-point deficit before this extra point. You were hoping to maybe stop the Vikings and at the very least, Javi, have a field goal scored so that you can be within a touchdown. But now after the score by Banda and this extra point, our hometown Wolverines are facing an 11-point deficit with a score 24-35 already in the fourth quarter. 8 seconds gone away. 11.
If you just graduated high school, are looking to change careers, or to upgrade your job skills, Texas Southmost College is the place to start. With over 50 certificates and associate degrees to choose from, TSC has the career for you. At TSC, you get a quality education that's close to home. Earn a certificate or an associate degree and get the education you need for today and tomorrow's job market.
Wouldn't you like to be in demand?
Register now at Texas Southmost College in Brownsville.
You plan on responding here after that Viking score?
Thank you, guys. It's an 11-point lead for the Vikings right now. Coach Uribe is telling their players it's now or never. Fourth quarter, they got to score on this drive if they want to keep up and have a chance to get the W tonight. Back to you.
Thank you there. And, of course, now or never is going to be right after this kickoff. The Wolverines, you know, they're depleted. They lost their quarterback. They lost one of their receivers. So they're going to have to dig deep into their bag of tricks if they have to. And you know I love trick plays. So that may be coming up here in the fourth quarter. The Wolverines about to receive as they trail by 11. And the kickoff will be fielded at the 25-yard line. Trying to find something and nothing doing. Gomez on the kickoff return. A lot of dancing, but not much progress.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's used to receiving the kickoff there, Javi. As he looked upfield, saw 11 guys coming towards him.
He said, whoa, what's going on over here?
Starts running east and west, and you're right, Javi. Gomez receives it at the 30-yard line, runs about 10 yards into the middle of the field, and the ball is at the 30-yard line again. But Leiva comes back to take the reins again, but he's got two of his weapons with Obedo and number 9, Zane, next to him.
And let's see what the Wolverines can do. They need to get off to a good start. A bad snap does not allow that. The quarterback should have thrown it away. Instead, he is going to get engulfed and thrown down. Big time quarterback sack after a bad snap.
So after 4 quarters of play, you know, your players get tired. Your players get, you know, they're worn out. And we see some of the decision making that's happening, some of those bad snaps. And you're right, Javi. If he would have had maybe a little bit more experience there, he probably should have thrown it away. He was already outside of the tackle box and taking no loss there. Instead, Javi, 2nd and 23 here.
Yeah, a 13-yard sack. It's going to be difficult to overcome. And another fumble, and it appears the Pace Vikings are going to be opportunistic. So the Wolverines, you know, they just didn't get it done. They fell apart on that series, and another score by the Pace offense, and it could get out of hand quickly.
Yeah, you said fell apart. And, you know, the cookie is crumbling. The house cards is falling with the ball here at the 8-yard line of the Wolverines, and a very potent Viking attack. There's a reason why they're undefeated. And you've seen them put it on display. That offense is just consistent.
Right.
Consistent play in, play out, and balance. And so those Viking players have done that an excellent job tonight. The Wolverines, I have to take my hats off to them because nobody gave them a shot. But going into the half, they tied it up 21-21. And, you know, they were able to answer with 3 points. But now, like you said, Javi, a score here does put the game a little bit out of hand.
And they give to the running back, and he fumbles it into the end zone, and that'll probably be a touchback. So, wow. Great turn of events right there. I'm not sure who hit the running back. It appeared he was going to burst into the end zone, gets popped right before he gets to the goal line. The ball comes out sailing past the end line of the end zone, and here we see the replay.
And so he takes the ball up there. I definitely saw the ball come out before he crossed that plane. There it is. Beautiful pop there. He kicks it up into the air, about 15, 20 yards into the air, and it bounces out of the end zone. So it becomes the Wolverines' ball at the 20. A beautiful turn of events for our hometown Wolverines, as they're able to stave off a very unfortunate event when they fumbled the ball there. And let's see if they can get some life going after this raindrop that came down.
Yeah, Zapata, just boots it out of bounds, and on first down, the Wolverines are going to take full advantage of it. Oh, and he almost had it. I thought he had it in his grasp already. That was Isaac Gomez streaking down the sidelines, just an inch away from making a tremendous catch.
A catch and run and TTH it. Again, just maybe not the game type experience that Gomez is used to. He takes those hands up and pulls the ball away from the defender. Javi, we got ourselves with the Wolverines right behind them, just 3 points behind them, but instead, 2nd and 10 here with the Wolverines facing a 35-24 deficit.
It's a game of inches, and the Wolverines could not get it done on that play. And on 2nd down, a tackle for a loss. Let's see if the defense was drawn off sides.
So Avila, rather than juking the defender, decides to lower his shoulder, but is quickly met. And so here comes a call from the Wolverines.
Defense, number 42, 5-yard penalty. Replay, 2nd down.
Plays in favor of the Wolverines as they're going to tack on 5 yards and face a 2nd and 5 rather than a 2nd and 10. There's still a lot of life here for the Wolverines.
Yeah, big break right there as the Pace Vikings were offsides. The Wolverines 2nd and 5. They get new life. Leyva at quarterback fires. And that ball was deflected, incomplete. He was trying to get the ball to number 1, Adrian Garza. Threw a good pass, just he threw it into double coverage though.
Very dangerous play. The defender is playing inside coverage. He's trying to take away the slant here, and the outside linebacker, the safety, comes in and puts number 1 in a very dangerous position, Javi. Maybe should have checked it off to a fade and given themselves a one-on-one opportunity there. But again, high school football, that's what it's all about, the ifs, ands, or buts.
And on third and 5, the give is to Sanchez, and he just doesn't get anywhere. He gets pushed out of bounds, so I'm not sure why they didn't call a penalty on that one.
It might have been just a little bit of a flop there. Good acting there. He gets bumped out and he flops down on his belly and says, hey, wait, that was out of bounds.
I was sold on it. Here comes Sanchez.
So let's see the replay
trying
here.
Trying to find something. Gets hit. He's out of bounds. Whistle's dead. And then, hey, whoa, wait a minute. Come on. You can't be pushing me out of bounds like that. No call. No foul. No blood, no foul, as
I guess
say.
so. And so now 4th down for the Wolverines as they get ready here to punt, Javi.
And it's a good one. Fielded right at midfield by the Vikings. Maybe a block in the back. Yep, it sure was. And that'll come back.
Yeah, you got 2 flags on that. That was an easy call as the defender kind of brushes up against the punt coverage in his back. But that's going to cost them 10 yards with the block in the back.
Holding, number 20, receiving team. Spot of the foul. 1st down.
Well, I don't know if that's a 20 or not, but it was a holding call, but it was a block in the back or holding, but it's still going to take him back 10 yards. And so our stat man Damian's got some surprising stats here for us, as the Vikings now have a total of 358 yards on offense, and our own hometown Wolverines with a 187 total on offense.
That is correct. So the Wolverines inefficient without Munoz. They've held Sanchez to 8 total yards.
You're talking about inefficient 8 yards by one of the lead backs here,
right,
as Banda throws it to a wide open receiver.
And he slips a tackle, and he's going to sprint in for a touchdown. Carlos Pulido gets into the action. Banda with a quick strike.
A 56-yard strike to be exact. The ball was on the 44-yard line of the Wolverines, and just an unfortunate turn of events there as the defender loses track of his receiver. When by the time he finds it, the receiver makes a catch. The defender tries to make a tackle and just gets whiffed by the runner, and he just runs it up the sideline for another 6 points for the Vikings. And this game, as we said, one more score could have put it out of hand.
Yeah, we may just have seen it. The extra point is good. And with that, the Pace Vikings extend their lead to 18. It is now 42-24. 9:43 remaining in the ball game.
So that's going to make it a 3-possession game for the Wolverines as the coaches begin to talk to their players, trying to settle them down. And a lot of commotion going on there at the moment. So let's hear what's going on downstairs. Pedro Leiva, give us an update.
Yes, so the score we see at 42-24 in favor of the visiting team. The Wolverines have been seen a lot of injuries on their offense, and that's because other than Orly's Muniz injury, a lot of cramps with jar construction of the muscles, and that has to do a little bit because of the weather and the condition of the field, that it might be a little wet. Back to you guys.
Well, thank you there, Pedro. He seemed to be caught off guard a bit, and that's exactly what the Wolverines defense was, caught off guard. That was a quick strike touchdown. I blinked, I missed the pass, and next thing you know, a receiver caught it. It's a touchdown, and the Wolverines have a lot of work to do. They got a little bit of time, 9 minutes, almost 10 minutes. They only have one timeout though, but they got to score, and they got to score quickly. And the return man is hit hard, knocked down at the 27-yard line. We do have a penalty though.
And we're going to have offsides by the kicking team, which more than likely will be declined as the ball will come out to the 30-yard line, 32-yard line. And so, again, the Wolverines with another opportunity to put points on the board, but they're going to have to do it without Orly Munoz. As Pedro just told us, he's still on the sideline. And here we get the call from the official as to what the Wolverines are going to do.
Offsides, kicking team, 5 yards, added to the end of the run, first down.
So they're going to tack on another 5 after the end of the run, putting the ball at the 34-yard line. But as we said, Javi, again, the Wolverines without Munoz, they got Leiva as the signal caller, and so they got to create something here on this drive.
And they're going to have to do it quickly. They got good starting field position. They just got to stay within themselves. Leiva's got to slow down the game a bit. He's going to loop it up, and that should be an interference, or at the very least holding, and that should move the sticks for the Wolverines.
Absolutely. I'm going to give my hats off there to number 1, the receiver, who puts a double move. He fakes the slant route, comes back out, steps out, then comes back on this slant route.
Pass interference, 25, defense, 15 yards, first down.
So the defender had no idea which way to go. So his only answer was to hold and grab and pull and bring down the receiver. So rather than give up a touchdown, the Vikings give up only 15 yards. But nonetheless, the ball will be at the Wolverines' 49-yard line.
Good pickup right there by the Wolverines on that interference call. That's going to help them tremendously. They're a yard short of midfield. Time is of the essence for the Wolverines. They need to move the ball down the football field quickly. Leiva awaits a snap. It's a low snap again. The give is up the middle to Sanchez. Sanchez with some hard-nosed run. He refuses to go down. Takes several defenders to bring him down. That'll be about a 9-yard pickup. Great run by Sanchez.
And this is something that we're used to seeing for the Wolverines, but we have not seen all night, as now the Brownsville defenders begin to get slow off the ground with cramps. But here we see him carrying 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders before he's brought down to the ground. And that's just the type of running we're used to seeing from Sanchez.
For over 65 years, VTX1 Companies has called South Texas home. And that means more to us than just being in a community. It means being part of the community. Through the good times and the hard times, celebrating every triumph, and lending a helping hand whenever we can. From farm to city and neighbor to neighbor, VTX1 Companies is there, bringing friends, families, businesses, and communities closer together. VTX1 Companies, connecting you since '52.
Go-to man for them last year, and he's been pretty mum these last couple of games. And here we see him line up inside slot position, and Sane and Vasquez on either side of the quarterback.
It'll be 2nd and short, 2nd and 1 to be exact. And the snap and miscommunication from the very beginning. Leyva looked to his left for a running back. The running back was at his right hip. Nothing doing, so that'll be a tackle for a loss on a broken play by the Wolverines.
Yeah, that was a broken play as Leyva reaches out to his left-hand side towards where Sane was at. Sane didn't move his feet, and the defender quickly got to the quarterback and sacked him for a huge loss there. Rather than facing a 2nd and 1, they now face a 3rd and 8. Time is ticking, Javi. They only have one timeout, and they're going to get this play off with 8:15 to go.
3 seconds on the play clock. They just do get it off. A big pass and a caught ball, and they're going to run off to the races, and that will be a touchdown reception by Tavis Sane. I asked for him. We got him. Touchdown Wolverines.
And a beautiful pass, beautiful route by Sane from Leyva to Sane again. He's able to connect with him, and then Sane does the rest as he cuts upfield and scores 6 points for the Wolverines, cutting into the lead 42-30 while waiting the extra point. The Wolverines still facing 12 points deficit. We see the drop back pass finds Sane streaking up the middle. The defender goes for the breakup, unable to get it. Sane separates from him, goes upfield, and just outruns everybody. So for the touchdown.
Encroachment, 13, defense.
Well, if
half the distance, retry.
I'm sorry there. Well, the Wolverines appear to be going for 2. That penalty is going to help them if they really want to go for 2. Now they can just simply line up an offensive set. They're going to go for the extra point to cut the lead to 11. And let's see if they can be successful with that. Valderrama, the extra point. Well, now they got a different formation. I'm confused.
That's your razzle-dazzle.
I'm sure Pace is confused as well. The direct snap, and that'll be an easy touchdown for Sanchez. Great execution by the special teams right there.
Silver Macias is left in the dust as he whiffs on Sanchez. They got him on a...
Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles is your source for vintage, antique collectibles, vinyl records, and more. Located at 206 East Jackson in historic downtown Harlingen, it's Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles. It's a step back in time with a soundtrack like none other. Open Monday through Saturday, filled with memories and more. Forever Memories is for you.
Alex Leyva moved the offense. Well, he's got 73 yards passing, a 49-yard touchdown pass. And Tavis Sane with 61 yards on the ground. Add another 53 through the air. So great effort by the Wolverines. They're making a game of it. They only trail by 10. 8:05 remaining. It's going to get very, very interesting here at PSJA Stadium.
So the ball will be set here at the 44, the extra point, Javi. Any onside or a razzle-dazzle, any trickery coming up for the Wolverines?
I think it's a little bit too early. I think you got to rely on your defense to get a defensive stop and score either a touchdown or a field goal, and then maybe after that, depending on how much time there is. But I think each team still has at least 2 to 3 possessions here left in the ball game. And a squib kick. That might have worked out, except it hit the return man or the kickoff unit right square in the gut. Didn't go anywhere, just fell right in front of his feet. So the Pace Vikings will have the ball at their own 45-yard line, nursing a 10-point lead with 8:04 remaining in the ball game.
So that kick goes off Matthew Garza's foot as he kicks it to his own teammate, Javi, and the Vikings fall on it. And so, you know, I did ask, you know, you think any trickery is coming up, so that you squib kick it, try to bounce it off a defender. Hopefully it goes, you get a bounce your way, but it didn't. So now the Vikings with the ball at their own 45-yard line with good field position.
It'll be interesting to see if the Vikings neglect to run it, and they do. Gaping hold up the middle, cuts it back to the outside, and that'll be a good 13-yard pickup on first down. So the Vikings on the move once again.
More importantly, they get tackled again in the middle of the field. So with the clock stoppage here until they set the ball, the clock is now ticking. 7:50. Time is not in favor of our own hometown Wolverines. The crowd here, you know, still cheering for their team, and you know, they've weathered the weather.
Yes,
and,
they did.
The Wolverines trying to make something out of nothing here.
And on another set of downs on first down, the Vikings this time elect to pass the ball. Another successful completion, and that'll get them about 7 yards. So the Vikings moving the ball extremely well here on this possession, and it's a possession that the PSJA Memorial Wolverines desperately need a stop.
A stop they are going to need, and again, if they do get a stop, expect the field goal kicker to try to put on more points for the Vikings. But here we go, 2nd and 3.
And they give around the left side, another gaping hole, another big-time run. That time by Dylan Barron. And the Vikings inching towards the end zone. They're at the Wolverines' 12-yard line.
Dylan Barron showing a burst of speed through that hole as he gets the ball and just explodes, boom, right through that hole, shot out of the cannon. And he's able to bring the ball to the Wolverine 12-yard line. Again, the Vikings knocking on the goal line door.
And they're 12 yards away. On first down, nothing doing. The Wolverines defense heard you. They didn't like it, and they had a good stop on first down.
Yeah, I hear you knocking, but you can't come in.
There you go.
You know, again, the good stop there, but it's only 2nd and 12, ball on the 13. The Vikings can still pick up another first down, and let's hope that the Wolverines can, like you said, dig deep into their bag and stop the Vikings from putting 7 points on the board.
Well, we're midway through the fourth quarter. The Wolverines desperate to get a stop now. Great effort at the point of attack. Nothing doing. They let them play on, and after the initial contact, the Pace Vikings pick up maybe a yard or two. It'll bring up a 3rd and 11 for the Vikings.
And it has been a long night for the defense here as they spent plenty of time there. We see them gang up here on the tackle. Everybody trying to do their part to keep the Vikings from scoring a touchdown. And a very important 3rd and 9 here with 5:22 remaining, Javi.
Yeah, they gave them 2 extra yards on the forward progress. 3rd and 9, as you mentioned. Big play. Quarterback looks, fires, corner of the end zone. And great defensive job right there. In fact, the ball was underthrown. And that'll be an incomplete pass. It'll bring up 4th down. And as you mentioned, they're probably going to bring out the field goal unit.
Yeah, an excellent. I actually didn't want to see the replay here, Javi, as I felt that the receiver had a little bit of contact by the defender. No call by the refs there, letting them play through it. And excellent job again by our cameraman. But you're right, Javi. They're setting up for the field goal here. Any points here will help. 5:10 remaining. 3 points might be the nail in the coffin for this evening.
A 29-yard field goal attempt. It hits the crossbar, and that'll be no good.
So still a 10-point ball game as we
opened Alex Restaurant with the intention to give people in Brownsville and those who visit us a very unique experience in the area of retail. We saw the need to give people a personal experience that only a boutique could provide. Here in Alexandria, what we work for is searching for different pieces, textures we bring from India, from Mexico, trying to make this a different experience. The people to find treasures here in their own valley. It's a pleasure to welcome everybody and making them a part of our family. We invite you to discover Brownsville. You can't miss it.
Tries to get around the sideline right there, around the edge, right in front of the Wolverine sideline, and he gets about 4 yards. The issue is, did he step out of bounds or not? They say he does not, so the clock will continue ticking, and the Wolverines need to get into that hurry-up offense. Valuable time is running out the clock. The play clock is already at 14. Quarterback asks for the snap, finally gets it. It's a give up the middle, not much doing. Good job by Sanchez, just managing to get maybe a yard or two as he was bottled up in the backfield.
And so again, you know, with 4 minutes remaining, it's down by 10. I don't see much urgency on the part of the linemen, on the part of getting the next play. Again, you know, you should be running about your 2-minute drill right about now. You only have 1 timeout left. You know, back in the old days, the Bears used to have a Geronimo call, and this Geronimo basically had your plays set up so you can run no huddle, but the Wolverines taking an awful lot of time as there's now 7 seconds on the play clock.
It'll be 3rd and medium. Wolverines trying to get a first down, heavy pressure on the quarterback. He was able to get the throw off, and that'll be an incomplete pass. That will stop the clock, but it will bring up a 4th down. It'll be 4th and 4 with 3:37 remaining in the ball game, and of course the Wolverines will need to go for it here on 4th down.
And the play call is coming in from the sideline. Oviedo gives the play to his linemen. The receivers getting the call. You have twins left here. It looks like Sane and Sanchez. Are they setting up for a punt here, Javi?
Well, they may be. I'm thinking they're going to fake it, though. No, they're gonna punt it away. Well, there was a penalty. Let's see if they were set or the defense was drawn off sides.
Number 9, the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay. 4th down.
And you got a big oof from me if you guys heard me there. Unfortunate event there as Sane is moving up before the snap, and that's exactly what they call. So rather than facing a 4th and 4, they now face a 4th and 9, and surprisingly, Javi, they were punting the ball.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd go for it, but you know me, I'm a gambling man.
And we're armchair quarterbacks up here, I guess, as you say it.
Yep. And on 4th down, they will go for it. And he will underthrow his receiver. I'm not sure if he makes a reception. He would have had enough yards for the 1st down. And it'll be a turnover on down. So kind of got ugly there on 4th down, needless to say. And the Pace Vikings, with 3:25 remaining in the ball game, are about a 1st down or 2 away from remaining undefeated in district. And the Wolverines will leave scratching their heads thinking what could have been on a game that they could have pulled it out.
And I'm not kidding. You took the words right out of my mouth. I'm scratching my head right now. 4th and 4, you punt. 4th and 9, you go for it. You know, here we go. The Vikings get a snap, hand it off to number 22. Number 22 runs it up the middle for no gain. Actually, a yard loss on that play. 3:17 and ticking. You know, it is what it is, Javi. You know, it was a 10-point ball game. The Wolverines have put up a great fight, but now with under 3 minutes to go, they still have a 10-point deficit and only 1 timeout left.
And they did not use that timeout on 1st down after a negative play. So it'll be 2nd and 11. Clock ticking. The Pace Vikings trying to eat up as much as they can. They're going to throw the ball, but heavy rush, a quarterback sack, great coverage sack right there. And the Wolverines are pushing the Vikings back. The clock at nearing the 2.5-minute mark. It'll be 3rd and long.
And here on the replay, the quarterback nowhere to go. He gets swallowed up by 3 to 4 Wolverines there. 3 Wolverines. Good job by the defense there. Now 3rd and 17 for the Vikings. 2 minutes and 16 seconds. The play clock and the game clock in sync. So they don't have to get this play off until there's 2 minutes and 1 second on the clock.
Yeah, credit Christian Garcia with the quarterback sack. The Vikings looking deep, throwing it. They're going to throw it out of bounds. That's going to do the Wolverines a huge favor. Stop the clock, plus it's going to bring up a 4th down. See if the Vikings are going to go for it, punt it, or go for a very lengthy field goal from that area. I believe it's going to be about a 45-yard attempt.
And this is going to equal to the attempt that we saw them do last week against the Southwest. He's placing the the ball there going to be placed at the 35-yard line.
No wind. So true test right here, all leg. This is a big boy field goal coming up. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up. It appears to have the distance, and he pushed it to the right. So the Wolverines dodge another bullet. Time running out though.
Hino Gas is a proud supporter of Valley High School sports and academics. We encourage you to be prepared for the fall and winter season. Visit hinogas.com to get your propane discount. At Hino Gas, we're here to help. Call us today.
I don't think anybody gave the Wolverines a chance tonight, as the Wolverines were 0-3, 0-4 overall, and Javi, they've been in it.
Yeah.
So with 1:56 left, I ain't counting them out just yet, because again, lots of fight in these young men, and anything can happen.
Well, if it's going to happen, it's going to be Alex Leyva that's going to lead them there. And on 1st down, he drifts back. Heavy pressure. He eludes that. Going to keep it. Going to try to get out of bounds. He does. And that'll draw a penalty flag as he was thrown to the floor way past the out-of-bounds marker. And we have another injured player and another cramp. So, you know, these kids got out here today, Robert, probably about, what, 5 o'clock for a 7:30 game?
Yeah, no, 5 o'clock. I think I gave you a phone call. See, we're going to be on a weather delay.
Right.
As I was at home playing Mr. Dad.
There you go.
And you're absolutely right. These kids were out here 5 o'clock warming up. They get called in. They sit in a warm, I'm sure it's air conditioned, but with the humidity and everything, you know, that temperature does go up when you got a lot of bodies in there. And so they don't come out till about 7:45.
That's correct.
To begin warm-ups. We get the game started about 8:45.
Almost 9 o'clock. So, you know, right now we are approaching 11:30.
Early. It's early.
Well, I don't know. I got a midnight curfew, man. I don't know. So we got to get this done within the next 30 minutes.
Or your car turns into a pumpkin.
I'm just going to be in trouble when I get home.
Well, let's just hope the shoe fits when they try it on, when Mr. Prince Charming comes your way.
So here we go. As the player walks off, as we know it was a cramp.
Well, we're assuming. Mm-hmm. And here's the call on the field.
Personal foul. Defense. Dead ball. Personal foul. Offense. Those will offset. 2nd down.
Well, we saw the defensive one. I'm not sure where the offensive one came out, but they offset.
Unfortunately for the Wolverines, that would have pushed the ball all the way to the 50-yard line.
Midfield. Yep. They would have been a play or two away from a lengthy field goal, maybe even a touchdown pass. Ovedo in motion for the Wolverines. They're going to look his way. No, they're going to go the other way. Long pass, underthrown, bounces, almost caught though by Michael Munoz, who has a touchdown on the evening. Incomplete though. That'll bring up 3rd and 3.
A good job by Munoz reaching over the defender. That ball was going to fall squarely into his lap. We see the pass by Leyva Nice spiral, but a little short. Munoz jumping over the defender, trying to bring it up to himself, unable to haul it in, but he does break up that interception. And another player down, grabbing his, this time the quarterback, Javi, grabbing his calf.
Uh-oh. Well, that's not good news. You're down to your second string quarterback. Of course, we have a minute 39 remaining in the ball game.
And Damien, who's been working hard all night, coming in and out of the office.
Defense. 15 yards, first down.
I did not see a penalty flag. And Damien does an excellent job keeping our stats here. The total offense for our hometown Wolverines is 250. The visiting Vikings get 200 more on top of that. So Vikings with 450 yards. Orlando Munoz 108 yards passing. Leyva with 78. But as we see, he does get cramped up there. And now we see that it looks like Vasquez is going to take a direct snap now. Sanchez is going to take the direct snap.
That's right. Sanchez at midfield. 1st and 10, Wolverines. Bootleg left. And he picks up maybe a couple yards. They're going to say he's going to go out of bounds after a 1-yard pickup. That stops the clock at 1:34. Of course, it's 42-32. The Pace Vikings leading PSJA Memorial Wolverines. Vikings trying to remain undefeated in District 16 5A Division 1. Of course, your Wolverines trying to pick up that initial win of the season. They got a lot of work to do. And on 2nd down, Sane keeps it, tries to get around the right edge, does, but gets met by a defender, falls at the 46-yard line, so that'll bring up a 3rd and 6 for the Wolverines.
So a little bit of thunder and lightning there, as this time Sanchez hands it off to Sane. Sane hits off the right side, sprints out there, and it looks like he was going to get tackled at the line of scrimmage. Instead, he busts it up for a 3-yard gain, 3rd and 6. We are going to be under a minute when they get the snap off, Javi.
Yeah, Leyva gets back in there at quarterback, rolls out to his left under heavy pressure, and he's going to be swallowed up, brought down at the Wolverines' 45-yard line. That's a big loss. It's going to bring up a 4th and 15 as we have another player who could possibly be cramping up. He's going to get up. He's going to try to walk it off. And
so we're, as a matter of fact, I might just send the mic down to Pedro, see if he's not cramping up down there. You know, it is a very humid evening. You know, big thank you to Mr. Leyva, Pedro Leyva, who's done an excellent job reporting from the sideline. And our camera staff, shout out to our K-Tri staff, Mark and the gang here, who've done an excellent job putting together a beautiful production here. Unfortunately, you know, for our PSJ fans at home, it did not go into our favor, as the PSJ Memorial Wolverines are still facing a 10-point deficit, 42-32, under 42 seconds remaining. The snap is here. Leyva takes the snap, Javi.
And he does get the snap. He draws back, looks left, fires. That is going to be intercepted, brought back by the Vikings. He crosses midfield, keeps running. He's going to stay on his feet, turn it upfield, and that'll be an interception, a pick 6 for Hector Salazar, the senior, with a game-clinching interception. And after that, I think we can say good night. But we still have 14 seconds remaining.
Game clinching. I had my jaws clenched. I said, this is not going to be a pick 6. Sure enough, turns out to be the exact opposite. He does TTH it. And the Vikings, before the night is over, they want to make this trip well worth it. Put another 6 points on the board, 48-32. The kicker, number 13, gets set up here. Looks back, make sure that he's going to kick the ball. The snap is there. The kick is up. It is blocked, Javi.
It's going to be run
Why
back.
not? Why not?
We've seen a lot of crazy stuff tonight. I'll say that much.
And it's been a long evening.
And we see a couple more penalty flags thrown.
Oh man, it's just unfortunate, but these two teams have put a beautiful effort together. Here we see the block. Number 32 gets his huge paws, his Wolverine claws all over that ball, and brings it down. He scoops it up, and after that, not unable to get much more, but he does keep the score into a 48-32 ball game. And let's see what the call is from our official after they pick up the laundry from the field.
Delay game, 32. PSJA.
Well, I might just call it delay a game.
It'll be enforced on the kickoff.
On the ref there for not telling us what's going on. You know,
he wanted some airtime. That's what I think he wanted.
14.9 seconds left, Javi. A shout out to our superintendent, Dr. Daniel P. King.
Most definitely.
Our school board, who does an excellent job supporting all the efforts of all our high schools, all our middle schools, and all our elementaries. And again, and most of all, a big shout out to all our fans, friends, and family who support every piece of the PSJ community. A beautiful evening this evening. Unfortunately, the ball did not bounce our way, Javi. 48-32, 14.9 seconds as the Vikings get ready to kick off.
And, of course, we want to thank our ADs, Orlando Garcia and Mel Rios, all our school board members. And I think that wraps it up. I think we thanked everybody. It's a beautiful production here at our beautiful stadium. Next week, we got a good one. Next Friday.
Well, I think we'll have a couple of good ones.
Next week, it's the Bears hosting the Raiders. That's always interesting. The kickoff, sails out of bounds.
And why not? You might as well practice your onside kicking here. You got nothing to lose. 32-48, 11.4 seconds. I don't know if there should have been any time taken off if the ball was not touched.
Illegal kick out of bounds. Kicking team, 5 yards from where we're out of bounds. First down.
I mean, that's just me. I don't think.
No, you're right. No, I was going to reflect back.
I think our timekeeper wants to go home too.
I was going to reflect back on the delay of game. I'm not sure why they call it delay of game
because
it's
late.
But
it's late.
You can't. I was going to say they should have run off the penalty. Time off the clock. But since it was on the extra point, I guess you can't.
Just run off 10 seconds.
Well, we're going to run it off right here. As soon as the ball is snapped, Leyva asks for it, gives it to Sane, and he cuts it upfield, past midfield, bumped out of bounds with 3 seconds on the game clock. So upcoming will be the final play of the football game, we believe. And of course, Pace Vikings right now with a 48-32 lead. And I'm impressed by this kid's speed. Sane is insanely fast, as they say, and he gets bumped out of bounds hard right there. But he's a good running back. He's a very talented running back, and he's a hard-nosed running back.
Unfortunately for the Wolverines, he is a senior. So, last year we saw a lot of Munoz, Ovedo, and Sanchez, and maybe they kept him a secret, and he's a secret no longer as Leyva drops back, and an incomplete pass will bring the clock to 0. Javi, it was a beautiful night this evening.
Thank you, Robert, and we also thank Damian, everybody involved in this production, and of course the Pace Vikings win it tonight, 48-32 over PSJA Memorial, and we're going to send it down to Pedro for his final thoughts.
Guys, a very entertaining game tonight. Unfortunately, the Wolverines could not get the win. Next week, they're going to be visiting Rio Grande City here at PSJA Stadium Friday night. Week 6, we're going to have the season for our district. PSJA Bears is going to host PSJA North Raiders on something that is going to be a great battle. That's all we have tonight from PSJA Stadium. You guys have
For the hottest deals, go to Mi Casa Furniture.
Save at Mi Casa Furniture.
75-33 Boca Chica, Brownsville.